You're watching the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. Week 5 of important college football brings us to Wildcat Stadium in Abilene, Texas. It's the WAC A-Sun Challenge and the Central Arkansas Bears and the Abilene Christian Wildcats. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Zach Carlisle along with Andy Penny. Connor Mullins coming up in just a little bit as well. Well, here we go. Abilene Christians won 3 in a row. Central Arkansas comes in 1-3, but this should be a good matchup here.
No doubt about it, Zach. The Wildcats playing great football, as you said, winners of 3 in a row, 3-1 the record, and the defense playing phenomenal the last 3 weeks. Just 16 points given up, including a shutout last week versus Lamar, but this is the toughest test. Don't let the 1-3 record fool you for UCA. Be a great contest tonight.
Well, why is it going to be a challenge for some defenses tonight? I think that is because of these two really good quarterbacks that we have going at it. Braylon Smith for Central Arkansas, an All-American a couple of years ago, and then Stone Earl for ACU, the redshirt freshman.
Well, the junior out of Conway, Arkansas, in his 6th year in the program, but he's throwing for over 300 yards a game. That's 10th in the FCS currently. 40 pass attempts as well, 13 touchdowns on the season, including 4 last week against the defending national champion, Sam Houston State. He can sling the ball around the yard.
And then that means Stone Earl, the redshirt freshman, he's going to probably have to put it up in the air and put up some points tonight for Abilene Christian.
Well, the thing about Stone is he's been the model of consistency thus far this season. On the year, he's just throwing for 720 yards, but in the last 3 weeks, 48 of 61, 560 yards, 10 touchdowns, no interceptions. He takes care of the football. He'll have to do that again tonight.
We can't wait for this matchup. These are two of the great programs early on in the season. Central Arkansas and Abilene Christian from Abilene, Texas, next on ESPN.
The world needs more light bringers and courageous leaders who inspire us, game changers and risk takers who never play small, creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we built the trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-150 with best-in-class available payload, and Super Duty with best available horsepower in its class. Because the best-selling trucks for 44 years straight aren't built for a few. They're built for Texas. Visit your Texas Ford dealer to see the Ford F-Series, the official truck of ACU football. Ford F-Series, built for Texas, built for you.
Beautiful night in Abilene, Texas, ready to go tonight. 81 degrees, rain earlier today, but it's off and running, and it should be a sunny night as we get ready for ACU at Central Arkansas. Injury report, let's send it down to the third member of our team, Connor Mullins.
Thanks, guys. Injury update for tonight for the Wildcats and the Bears. Starting off with the Wildcats, Quint Titt, first team all-conference selection last year, defensive lineman for ACU, playing tonight on limited snaps after not playing last week in the 56-0 route against Lamar for the Wildcats. No start, but limited snaps for him. Greg Green, linebacker for ACU, back in the starting lineup tonight after missing last week against Lamar. Jeremiah Dobbins, another first team all-conference selection for the Wildcats last spring. Second straight game for him, no start, back up to Tyrese White tonight, getting healthier each week for the Wildcats. For the Bears, Jalen Hendricks, the right guard, missed 2 of his first 4, back after last week against Sam Houston in their loss to them. Injury-related illness for him, starting tonight for the Bears. Guys?
Connor, thank you very much. Yeah, that's very important for Central Arkansas to have Jalen Hendricks back tonight at the right guard spot. Abilene Christian won the toss. They defer to the second half. We're going to see Central Arkansas's offense right away.
Prolific offense that we'll see. Don't let the 1-3 record fool you, Zach. This is a Central Arkansas team that's had a tough schedule, including last week, the defending national champion. in Sam Houston State, but it's a team that throws for over 300 yards a game. Braylon Smith's been the signal caller for a long, long time. We're in for an entertaining night of football here tonight.
Blair Zepeda will kick it off for Abilene Christian, a redshirt sophomore from Richardson, Texas. Back deep for UCA Christian Richmond. Right there, number 6, a sophomore from Cyprus, along with Corbin Humphrey, sophomore from Little Rock, Arkansas. Two teams meeting for the first time since 2019. Played a 31-30 contest in Conway, Arkansas. Meeting for the first time in Abilene, Texas since 2018. ACU's won 3 in a row. Central Arkansas comes in 1-3. We're glad to have you with us tonight on ESPN. Off we go from Abilene, Texas. A short kick, fair catch at the 21-yard line for UCA. Here we go, this prolific offense, and Braylon Smith, the junior quarterback for Central Arkansas.
Well, as we mentioned in the open, Zach, he's in his 6th year in the program, a redshirt year, an injury year, and then, of course, everyone gets a COVID year. So he's listed as a junior, but his 6th year in the program. He knows it very well. Again, throwing for 310 yards per game. That's in the top 10 in the FCS nationally. 13 touchdown passes on the year. He has thrown 8 interceptions, so maybe an opportunity for ACU defense to come up with some plays. 7 takeaways in the last 2 weeks for the Wildcats. The defense on the field first.
Yeah, it's been an opportunistic defense for ACU. This should be some kind of matchup. Looking forward to it as we start at the 25-yard line after the fair catch on the kickoff. And a quick throw. We're going to see a lot of that tonight. This has been a pass-happy team. Tyler Hudson with the catch, and you're going to see a lot of Tyler Hudson and a lot of Lawan Winningham tonight, the big receivers.
Well, again, the Bears throw the ball more than 40 times a game. Not quite balanced. It's about a 60-40 ratio. 40 pass attempts per game. That's what they average.
We're going to hand it off. This is a really good freshman running back, Darius Hale, the freshman from Pearland, Texas. They were proud to get this kid, and you're going to take a look at this starting offense for UCA. Hale, the freshman, stud receivers in Winningham and Hudson. And that offensive line, talented Toby Sanderson in the middle of it, the All-American, and then Jalen Hendricks back at right guard. They're going to hand it off on 3rd and 1, and powering forward is Darius Hale for the first down as UCA picks up the first down of the game.
Well, 3rd down will be a key tonight. The Wildcats last week held Lamar to just 1 for 10 on 3rd down conversions. Really a key component of that 56-0 win. That plus the 3 takeaways that this defense came up with last week. They'll have to play coverage well, make Central Arkansas, the Bears, march down the field. They pick up 13 yards in 3 plays and a first down.
And they go quickly with the screen. This is Mitchell Perkinson, and he is hit immediately. Abilene Christian all over that. Elijah Moffitt, the safety. One of the first ones there. Torrey Hargrove, the linebacker, as well. Here's this ACU defense. Good up front, Garvier Freeney and Dre Jones. No Quintet tonight in the starting lineup. Greg Green back, as Connor Mullins reported on. And that secondary is going to get tested tonight. Stapp and Williams on the corners. Loss of 1 on 1st down. 2nd and 11 for UCA. Smith with time. Looking to the edge, knocked away from Lawan Winningham by Ryan Stapp, the ACU corner.
Well, good pressure there. The Wildcats able on 2nd and long to just rush the front 4. They're able to play coverage, and they're not going to rush many. They're going to rely on that front 4 to get pressure on the quarterback. It is a nice pocket, but when you're throwing against 7 defenders, you have a chance to make plays. Stapp knocks it down, and Zach a chance to turn the field here. 3rd down and long for the Bears.
Central Arkansas team on 3rd down this year. It comes in at 40% as an offense. ACU's defense has been so good, 28% this year defensively on 3rd down. 3rd and long. Smith has time. Wide open is Hale. He'll pick up the first with ease, and he goes into ACU territory. Wide open underneath, and they find the connection for 15 yards.
The Wildcats brought pressure, and they forget about Hale coming up out of the backfield. That's a misassignment. Hale right here. Looks like he's in to block, and then it's a delayed release out of the backfield, little throw up over the top, little screen pattern. And again, when it looked like Hale was going to stay in and block, the extra linebackers started rushing Smith. Hale jumps out, easy screen, easy first down.
Hale had offers from Houston and Tulsa and Baylor as well. Decided to go to Central Arkansas. Here he is up the middle. Going into that heart of the Abilene Christian defense. The safety, Brian Bullock. Hunter Keir, the linebacker, in. You see Keir lost his helmet. He's got to step out for a play.
Central Arkansas does not run the ball much. Just the rushing yardage on the year is minimal, less than 100 yards per game rushing the football on the year. As a matter of fact, 82 rushing yards a game. First down becomes a critical play if they try to establish the run, which again, they don't rush for much, but with 3 yards here on first down, sets up second down and more manageable play here, 2nd and 7.
And the challenge has been just 2.9 yards per carry this year for the Bears. They're going to get a lot more here. Tripped up is Central Arkansas. Tristan Smith was an ankle tackle from Chike Nwankwo away from going to the end zone.
Once again, just pressure off the edge. And yeah, just an ankle tackle away from that being a Bear touchdown on their opening drive.
Solid opening drive. They go back to Smith. Keir and Freeney are in on the stop for ACU. Consistent on first down with running so far. Is Central Arkansas trying to mix it up, and offensive coordinator Ken Collins has a tie to Abilene Christian. Former offensive coordinator and head coach of the Wildcats, now in his 4th year as the OC with Central Arkansas. Bears go quickly. Back to the ground, it's Hale again. Picks up a good chunk, 3rd and short coming up for UCA.
Well, you know, Zach, what's funny is, okay, the Bears are a passing team, but in any game, you have to establish the run to be able to effectively pass. Many more running plays here on this drive as opposed to pass plays. Smith has not been terribly effective here on the first drive, other than the screen pass to Hale, but 3rd down and 4 here, but all sorts of options in the playbook.
5 rushes, 4 passes on this opening drive. 10th play of the drive coming up for Central Arkansas. They face their 2nd 3rd down of the drive. Smith with late pressure to the middle, knocked away a little behind Tyler Hudson. Brian Bullock, the safety, in coverage, and it brings up 4th down.
Decision time here. You're looking at a field goal of 45-plus yards here for the Bears, not a strength of their team. And the offense staying on the field. First big play here comes on the opening drive as the Bears will go for it, 4th and 4.
And that throw may have been a little behind Hudson. Bullock makes the nice play, so 4th down.
Empty backfield. A lot of room in the middle here. You have to watch out for the quarterback draw, but empty backfield and a 5-receiver set.
Just 3 to snap it. Will they go for it? They will. And a flag first for a false start. We believe it's going to be a false start. Let's find out.
False start. Offense. Penalty. It's 4th down.
Zach, I don't think that will change the decision making, but it was the outside receiver well on the outside. Darius Hale, the running back, but he was split out nearest to the ACU sideline on this near sideline, but obviously a passing play because he was ready to get out of the chutes, but cost his Bear team 5 yards.
They're going to do this again on 4th and 9. ACU jumps, and here comes the flag. Now, were the Wildcats induced to jump over the line, or is this coming back 5 more? Jeremy Tate, the referee.
False start. Offense number 5. The 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Oh, yeah, they're going to call that on Winningham, the receiver, I believe. Well, they were going to go for it on 4th and 9. 4th and 14 is a different decision, and Central Arkansas has to punt.
You know, this won't go as a turnover on downs necessarily, but you have a 4th down and 4 that turns into what's going to be a turnover in possession. Mark that as the first mental mistake. The first minor victory of the night goes the way of the Wildcats, and it's just mental mistakes by the Bear offense, back-to-back false start penalties.
Short punt takes a nice UCA bounce out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So Abilene Christian bends, doesn't break. Now we get to see this Wildcat offense and redshirt freshman Stone Earl.
Well, Stone Earl has just been the model of consistency, what we like to call him, over the last 3 weeks. Manages the game well, and sometimes that has a negative connotation, but I tell you, Coach Josh Lamberson, the offensive coordinator, has helped the redshirt freshman just get his feet underneath him in his first year as the starting quarterback. The last 3 weeks, 48 of 61, 10 touchdown passes, no interceptions. He takes care of the football. He's got it 1st and 10.
And Earl gonna dump it off in the flat to Remington Lutz, his first catch since the opener at SMU, just his 2nd catch of the season. The junior from Temple, Texas.
He's brought down by number 5 to Marion.
Picks up 7 on 1st down for ACU.
A gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
This team that's averaging over 40 points per game so far. Not all of that the offense, as the defense has 3 touchdowns this year as well. ACU gonna fake it again. Earl with pressure, and he finds Kobe Clark, who goes down to a knee at the 29-yard line. 13 more and a 1st down for ACU.
The Wildcat offense comes in very balanced. 206 yards rushing a game, 215 passing, so very balanced. So it's hard to tell. What are we going to do, run or pass? Both plays thus far have been out of play action and roll the pocket over to the left. Both have been short gains for both, for Lutz and for Clark. Again, nice, easy passes for Earl to get started tonight.
Now Peyton Mansell takes over at QB. We're going to see both of them tonight, as they have done that all season long for ACU. Mansell's going to keep it all by himself to the left side. A wonderful athlete. He's still going into UCA territory, and he rumbles to the 41-yard line. That's 31 yards for Peyton Mansell.
Mansell comes in the 2nd leading rusher at 189, and boy, give credit to Colin James and Truett Knox, 2 of 5 redshirt freshmen that start on the offensive line for ACU. We're able to get him to the edge, and Wildcats in plus territory here on the first drive.
So Central Arkansas moved it down the field to start it. ACU does the same. Stone Earl back out there at QB. 3 receivers at the top. Earl going to take off 2. He can scoot as well. He's going to dip out of bounds after picking up 6 or so. This ACU offense, they love what this offensive line is starting to do. It's a very talented group, and all 5 are redshirt freshmen.
Boy, just a great job. We set them all, as you saw in the starting lineup. Reese Moore, Truett Knox, Colin James, Jacob Thielen, Derek Simmons, the 5 across. A good pocket there for Earl, but an opportunity to run, and Stone does that well. He picks up 7. Tight formation here, all receivers inside the hash.
They'll go to Anthony Smith, the 3rd string back. He's got a lane, takes off, and he is going to rumble down the sideline and into the end zone, but let's check the flag on the play at the 26-yard line. Usually that means it's coming back, and we shall see. Smith had himself an alley to the end zone. Let's see if it's coming back.
A stretch play off right tackle, and a great hold there, but typically the hold comes with the hold.
Offense number 0. That 10-yard penalty being enforced from the spot of the foul. It's 2nd down.
It's on the receiver, Darius Lewis, for Abilene Christian.
Yeah, trying to seal the edge, and just got caught with a little hand in the jersey there.
There is that offense for ACU. Clark, Spadone, they like to see Alex Spadone back at a receiver spot. Lutz had to catch to open the game, and then that very talented young offensive line that is learning the ropes of FCS football. Reese Moore, the left tackle, the transfer from Texas for ACU. Well, it brings it back to 2nd and 6. They'll fake it. Earl, big arm, looking along the sideline, incomplete, intended for Talon Williams. So all of a sudden, a touchdown run for Anthony Smith gets taken off the board. Sets up 3rd down. Adam Dorrell, 5th-year head coach of the Wildcats, has this team on a 3-game winning streak, trying to go for 4 straight, and this would be a huge win for him if they can pick up one over Central Arkansas.
Yeah, no doubt. He is feeling good. He was loose this week in the press conference on Wednesday, and really complimentary of his team and what they've done the last 3 weeks.
3rd and 6. ACU 42% on 3rd down this year. Earl, deep one. He's got Spadone open at the 15. Spin move. He's gone. Touchdown. Alex Spadone, the junior, the transfer from San Diego, has his first touchdown as a Wildcat.
Wildcats made it look easy on drive number 1. I don't know if that's a busted coverage or just a well-designed play, but somehow Spadone wide open on the near sideline. Earl was looking at him from the snap, takes the ball and sees Spadone on the near side. A spin move at the 10, and he high steps into the end zone.
Blair Zepeda for the extra point. 7 plays, 90 yards. A little more than 2 minutes off the clock, and Abilene Christian on the board first at home. Well, Central Arkansas moves the ball down the field, then has some penalties that end their first drive. ACU goes right on down the field, and a touchdown pass and a Wildcats strike first here in Abilene.
I think the first 8 minutes of this one, 7+ minutes of this one, have gone exactly how the Wildcats need. You get a defensive stop. Your scripted plays on your first offensive series are almost flawless, with the exception of one holding penalty that brings back a first touchdown. The Wildcats go ahead and overcome that and score a touchdown to wrap up the drive number 1.
We mentioned the winning streak coming in for ACU. They're currently in the midst of their first 3-game winning streak since in the middle of October in 2019. Here's a short kick again. This one's going to bounce. That's a live ball, and Central Arkansas is going to hop on it inside the 25. Let's go back to the touchdown to Alex Spadone for ACU.
Well, it's a 3rd down play for the Wildcats. Spadone's just a wide receiver on the outside. It looks like the corner wants to come up and play press coverage, knowing that he has safety help on the backside, but the safety slow to come over. Spadone makes the catch, a spin move out of the safety type tackle at the 10, and then he high steps into the end zone. Wildcats on the board first tonight.
Spadone, first one as a Wildcat for the San Diego transfer, getting his graduate degree at ACU. Was all-conference honorable mention 2 years ago with the University of San Diego. So here is Braylon Smith again in this UCA offense that moved at 47 yards on the opening drive. Smith is going to throw it, and he is going to take off. He does not do this a lot. He is met by the linebacker Chike Nwankwo after a pickup of 3.
Nwankwo, good job just spying Smith, the middle linebacker, just waiting to see if Smith breaks down and runs the football, which he does. And really, that's a nice job by the back secondary, the coverage there, not allowing anyone to get open. Smith had nobody to throw to. Easy tackle for Nwankwo after a 3-yard gain.
So you got a guy in Smith who is 3rd in UCA history in passing yards. And he's 3rd on that list. Number 1 on that list is his head coach, Nathan Brown, who was the QB at Central Arkansas. Here is Smith to throw. Crossing pattern, Lawan Winningham trying to get involved as Greg Green and Hargrove are there to bring him down. Winningham, a big part of this Central Arkansas offense.
Well, again, Zach, here's a quick 3rd down. 3rd and about 4 for Central Arkansas. ACU is forcing the Bears to throw underneath, for Smith to throw underneath.
Winningham and Hudson, the impact players for Central Arkansas, and then Hunter Keir defensively, and Ryan Stapp, we've seen him out there contesting some plays for Abilene Christian. Brings up a 3rd down and 4, well, stoppage first. Timeout. Timeout, Abilene Christian. So a 3rd down for Central Arkansas when we come back.
We focus on faith, family, and football. My journey of faith has defined who I am and whose I am. Knowing that, what could possibly stand in my way? I authored a book titled Life After Grace to encourage others to live out their purpose with their faith. I'm just a small town girl with bigger than the sky dreams, That's why I'm getting my degree online with ACU.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-150 with best-in-class available payload, and Super Duty with best available horsepower in its class. Because the best-selling trucks for 44 years straight aren't built for a few. They're built for Texas. Visit your Texas Ford dealer to see the Ford F-Series, the official truck of ACU football. Ford F-Series, built for Texas, built for you.
I served our country in the military for 4 years. I was a pastor of a small church where I wore a lot of hats. I was the cleanup guy, the painter, the lawn guy, the preacher. You name it, I was doing it. We got a lot of calls of people needing counseling, and I was not equipped to help them. So now I'm pursuing my bachelor's and master's degree online with ACU. Someday, I'll serve my community as a counselor.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Third down out of the timeout for Central Arkansas. Braylon Smith empty again. UCA was 2 for 3 on third down of that opening drive. It's 3rd and 4, and it's a quarterback keeper for Braylon Smith, and he's got some space. Slides down out across the 45-yard line. 17 yards for Braylon Smith.
Good design quarterback run off the left side. ACU expecting a pass or a short pass. That's what they've seen the entire drive. Smith gets the first down.
The Bears go quick and to the ground with Tristan Smith. We've seen the combination so far of Darius Hale and Tristan Smith. That's been a 2-to-1 ratio of carries so far in favor of Hale this year. But Smith gets another one, a freshman from Duncanville, Texas.
Again, Zach, I'm really surprised that we've seen more run than pass. But again, Bears just trying to establish the run and really have been more effective thus far on the run. Smith is 4 of 6, but everything's been short. 4 of 6 for 21 yards.
Pistol formation. On 2nd down and 8, it's a fake. Smith. Time runs out to throw it. Finds Mitchell Perkinson, and down he goes. A loss on the play. Greg Green, welcome back to the lineup for the ACU linebacker. Third down coming up for UCA. There is head coach Nathan Brown, 4th year. Great guy for this program. We talked to him during the week. This is a guy who just bleeds UCA purple, the perfect guy for this job when they hired him 4 years ago.
Yeah, former quarterback for UCA, won a national championship back in the early 90s and really loves this program. He's doing some great things with them too.
3rd and 15 for the Bears.
Again, pass situation here. Play deep, make Smith throw underneath, and then go make the tackle, force the Bears to punt. Pressure coming.
ACU brings 5. Smith lets it fly. It's Winningham, and it's too far outside, and a flag goes as Ryan Stapp was in coverage on the top receiver for Central Arkansas. And this might be offensive pass interference.
Well, we'll check as the defense decides to go man-to-man on the outside. A lot of hand check. I think Stapp might have grabbed the left arm.
Pass interference. Offense number 5. That penalty decline. It's 4th down.
They're calling it on Winningham. Let's take a look.
Well, one-on-one coverage here on the near sideline. And yeah, Winningham, I think, extended the left arm into the chest of Stapp to try to create some separation. I thought Stapp might have grabbed the left arm and might have got called on the defensive side, but offensive pass interference goes declined, and the Wildcat defense is held again.
So this will be Chandler Cogra to punt it, the redshirt freshman from Memphis, Tennessee. It had been Sharon Hughes Ford most of the year, But Cochran's going to punt it here. That takes a wonderful hop. And then, unfortunately for Central Arkansas, it hops into the end zone. That's a heck of a punt, though, as it hops in to the end zone. ACU on offense when we come back. Back in Abilene, Texas, just outside the Student Center on campus. ACU in front 7-0 after back-to-back defensive stops to start the night for this ACU defense. Stone Earl and company, after an opening drive touchdown, back to work for Abilene Christian. They're going to start on the ground, and this is Jeremiah Dobbins, who has been banged up with a hamstring injury all of camp and all of the early part of this season. He's back out there for ACU. Dobbins, the freshman out of Lubbock.
Yeah, he's one that has just been banged up, as you said, all fall camp. Had the starting role until the hamstring injury, but getting back into form, and he picked up 6 there.
Denver Holman on a crossing pattern picks up the first down, 5 yards to the Mary Hardin Baylor Division III transfer for Abilene Christian on a crossing pattern.
Just checks down to the second receiver there, looked out in the flat to Dobbins. It was covered up. Nice pass across the middle on a short little crossing route. And Wildcats continue to be effective here. Nice move of the sticks there and a new first down.
Stone Earl off to a good start. 4 for his first 5 at the touchdown throw. Stoppage first and a timeout called by Abilene Christian, with 3.5 to play here in this first quarter. How about the impact players when Abilene Christian is on offense? We're focusing on Tyrese White on offense and Kobe Clark, who's the do-everything receiver for ACU.
Well, no doubt, and it's been run, pass, balance all year for ACU, 206 yards on the ground, and it really starts with Tyrese White, the 5'10 senior, 7.5 yards a carry. He's got 263 yards on the year and 2 touchdowns. He has really established the run, and when he can do that, of course, the all-everything wide receiver in Kobe Clark, the junior out of Sweetwater, 23 receptions, 296 yards and 5 touchdowns. He scored a touchdown in 6 consecutive games dating back to last year.
And then DeAndre Lamont, the nickel, leads the team in tackles. And you saw Cameron Godfrey, who will be out for this first half because of being called for targeting in the second half of the game last week against Sam Houston. Darius Lewis, or rather Davion Johnson, on a handoff for Abilene Christian. He takes it for about 4, second down and 6 coming up.
Zach, I've really been impressed with the play selection thus far. Unbalanced, a lot of play action, a lot of different receivers. We've already seen Remington Lutz with a catch tonight, Holman with a catch tonight. Really been impressed with the play selection thus far tonight.
Did UCA jump? Javius Brown, one of the big defensive tackles. More complications up front. Offsides or a false start? What's the verdict?
Offside. Defense number 9, moving in the neutral zone, causing an offensive player's reaction. 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
It is a Javius Brown. Boy, they've got some really good defensive tackles. A Javius Brown and Caden Brown. 6'2", 330 and 6'1", 302.
It's hard to move there on the inside, hard to run up in between the tackles, but the Wildcats really with a lot of plays in the playbook here. Second down and short.
Turns it from 2nd and 6 into 2nd and 1. They're going to toss it to Jeremiah Dobbins, and he's going to pick up the first down as he takes it up near midfield.
Number 21, Jeremiah
Tackled by
Dobbins.
Tamarian Wilson. Taking a look at the Central Arkansas defense. Talked about it, the Brown, no relation, but the defensive tackles for UCA. And then there's Lamont, plays nickel, kind of move him around in different places. And then again, the good safeties in Kane and Wilson for Central Arkansas. First down for Abilene Christian at the 47. Earl to dump it to the left side, in the flat, first down. Anthony Smith out of the backfield, takes up and picks up a dozen yards to the 41.
Little play action going to the right. Earl rolls to the left. He's rolled to the left more often than not when it's been a play action type of scenario. And Coach Lamberson, the offensive coordinator, has given him plenty of options on the side. He had Lutz deeper on the sideline. He just throws it right there in the flat and wide open, and a long catch, and move the sticks again. First down, Anthony Smith.
Not an easy throw going to the opposite direction like that. But Earl makes it look pretty easy. Redshirt freshman tosses to Tyrese White. ACU trying to get out on the edge. Not seeing a lot up the middle right now. They're trying to move it towards the sideline with that run game.
Well, if you heard Coach Adam Dorrell in his press conference on Wednesday, he's been very pleased with running the football, but pleased with the dynamics of how they've run the football, not just between the tackles, but also out on the perimeter. He complimented the wide receivers and their blocking. Wide receivers don't like to block. They like to catch the football.
That's right.
But he complimented his guys, and he's been really pleased with the dynamic of their running game.
Second down and 8. Earl plants. He's got plenty of time. And inside the 40, back to his go-to guy, Kobe Clark. And he is taken down by Wesley Newsom, the junior corner out of California. Sets up third down here for ACU, kind of in no man's land at the 35-yard line.
Well, Zach, Coach Nathan Brown, UCA head coach, talked about third down. His defense on the field on third down have really struggled on third down. As a matter of fact, he said if our defense were 10% better on third down, I think our record would be a lot different than what it is at 1 and 3. This is a big play here, 3rd and 4. Wildcats scored their first touchdown tonight on third down as well.
Earl's going to keep it. What a play call, and he takes it down near the 25-yard line, and a flag flies and may be on the hit. Christian Kane hitting Stone Earl. That's a first down, and this could be on UCA. Earl took a hit at the end of this thing.
Yeah, that might be the worst thing that happened on the play, but a good play design. Again, a little quarterback counter design run the entire way. Easy to get the first down, and this one might be 15 more on a late hit.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 6. The penalty being enforced, having this is goal, automatic first down.
So, yeah, they always review targeting. That's what they're going to rule it. Ooh, as they hit Earl going to the ground. It's Christian Kane, the safety. And now they're going to take a look at it to see if it is indeed targeting. Those are always reviewed in college football.
Well, the initial looked like Kane may have got the shoulder on the helmet of Earl as he was falling to the ground. Again, a quarterback counter right up the middle. Great blocking scheme up the middle, and as he falls forward, I think, well, it's hard to tell. It's really hard to gauge. A good look at it here from our upstairs camera. And Earl's helmet came ajar as well, but I thought initial look it was shoulder to helmet, but we shall see.
Yeah, I believe the shoulder's the one that made contact. At least that's what it looked like. And there's got to be a little intent behind it as well. More often than not, these do get looked at, and a lot of times they do get reversed if they are. But it's the official is always going to throw the flag first, and then they go in and look at it to see if it actually is targeting. Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the targeting is confirmed. Number 6 on the defense is disqualified. That penalty being enforced after this is the goal, permitting the play, automatic first down.
How about that? They're going to stick with targeting, and Christian Kane has been disqualified from the game, the starting safety for Central Arkansas. It's been a secondary that's had some challenges so far this year. Now they're going to be a man down.
Yeah, and I hate to use the phrase, the hits keep on coming here in the first quarter, but this has been a first quarter to forget for the Bears, and now you take a hit like that, losing one of your top secondary men in the safety, Christian Kane. His night is done. And here we are, Wildcats in the red zone, 2 drives, both started inside their own 20 and in the red zone for the second time.
At the 13-yard line for ACU. And they're going to keep this thing again. Earl with these designed runs takes it down inside the 10. Wesley Newsom on his stop takes us to the end of the first quarter. It's Abilene Christian leading 7-0. The Whack on ESPN. Back after this. Start of the second quarter, Abilene Christian with a 7-0 lead over Central Arkansas. Zach Carlisle, Andy Penny, Connor Mullins, glad you're with us tonight for the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. A great start for ACU, and they have a chance to add to this 7-0 lead, facing a second down inside the 10-yard line. Stone Earl, the quarterback position. Tight formation. And Earl off the fake. Time runs out into the end zone and open for the touchdown is Denver Holman. And what a start for Abilene Christian here at home.
And give credit to the redshirt freshman, Stone Earl. That was a play designed to hit Kobe Clark on a short underneath crossing route in the left flat. It was covered. Pressure was coming. Earl gets around it. Holman stays with him, makes the catch. 2 offensive touchdowns and 2 possessions for the Wildcats. Boy, they look good tonight.
That is a quarterback making a play when something breaks down. ACU win 90 yards of their opening drive to go up 7-0. They go 10 plays, 80 yards. Well, did that extra point count? Okay, they're going to look at the touchdown first. Did Denver Holman catch that ball down low and pick it up off the turf? We're going to find out when we come back. It's a touchdown for now. We'll see if it stands.
It's a touchdown.
All right, play stands as called. Not enough to overturn that. They called Denver Holman's catch a touchdown for ACU.
Well, Holman caught it right off the tip of the grass there on the field turf, and it kind of popped out of the chest, but then he catches up shoulder pad high. He's in for the second touchdown of his season.
Absolutely. And Abilene Christian. A 10-play, 90-yard drive to start the night. To go up 7-zip. Extra point from Blair Zepeda, good here. A 10-play, 80-yard drive in 4.5 minutes. And it is 14-0. Abilene Christian on their home field. What a start for the Wildcats.
I don't think the Wildcats could have scripted a better start offensively and defensively. The Bears' offense has yet to really get going. A team that averages more than 300 yards of passing. They have struggled to get things going at least consistently, but then the ACU offense, man, has just been absolutely fantastic with the 90-play drive and the 80-yard drive. The 90-yard drive and 80-yard drive. And what's been impressive, so many different names are part of the stat sheet already. Alex Spadone in the end zone, his first touchdown of the season on the first drive. Denver Holman, his second touchdown of the season on the second drive. And now, Zach, dating back to the end of the University of Texas Permian Basin game, ACU has scored 77 unanswered points. The final 7 against UTPB, of course, 56 last week against Lamar, the first 14 tonight.
That's good math by you right there, I tell you what. Did you do that in your head?
I did it during the break. Don't give me that much credit.
Blair Zepeda is going to kick it off for ACU. He's done the short kicks all night. Here's another one, taken at the 16-yard line. And it'll basically turn into the same result to the 25. To your point on that, ACU keeps spreading his wealth. 8 touchdowns last week. 8 different guys scored in the 56-0 win against the Lamar Cardinals.
Number 10, Kylan Stribling on the return.
In Central Arkansas.
It is first down at the spot of recovery.
Okay, so instead of a return, they're going to mark it at where at the spot of the recovery is what it sounded like from Jeremy Tate. So maybe some sort of fair catch for Central Arkansas. Special teams has been very weird on kickoffs so far. So anyway, this is drive will start at the same result as it typically usually does at the 25-yard line. Central Arkansas, they've moved it a little bit. They just can't finish anything off. And it seems like an important drive for the Bears right here. It starts back on the ground with Darius Hale, and he is going to go down with Greg Green, who's been all over the place so far. For Abilene Christian, that's a loss of 2.
Greg Green, Kadron Johnson, both there to fill the gap, make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. And Zach, you said it, this is an important drive. This might be the most critical drive of the game, really, for both of these teams. ACU with the momentum. Can we hang with a Central Arkansas team that's had our number for a long time? Central Arkansas on the flip side, yeah, we come in, we're 1-3, and now we're starting to feel like maybe we are a team that's really 1-3. Can they respond? They have the weapons to do it, but they go the wrong way on first down.
2nd down and 11 at Smith. We might be just seeing a lot of dropping back and throwing. Tyler Hudson can make men miss. Oh, look at that. Goes airborne. And he's close to the first down. I think they're going to give it to him at the 36-yard line. Tyler Hudson. My goodness.
Look at the athleticism here. First breaks a tackle and then jumps over the second tackle. Takes a big hit right there on the sideline, but turns a 2-yard play into a 12-yard gain and a first down.
12-yard hurdles for Hudson. Smith into the flat for the tight end, Jack Short. Right around the line of scrimmage. You know, now, not only to me was this an important drive for UCA in the game. Take a look at this hurdle again for Tyler Hudson first before that thought. Good little swim and then whoop, up and over the top. Not only is this an important drive for this game, maybe for their season.
Now, no doubt.
Nathan Brown talked about it earlier this week. They may have to win out, you know, to get some sort of at-large bid from that AQ7 qualifier with the whack of the A-Sun. Here is Smith, crossing pattern. It's Winningham, and he's wrestled down by Brian Bullock. 3rd down and 3 coming up. Good tackle in space. He's a hard man to bring down when Winningham gets out there.
Well, Winningham, 27 catches on the year, 13.8 yards per catch for the junior out of the Houston area. Atacasita High School is where he went. 13.8 yards per catch, which is either throw it deep or let him catch it in space and make plays, but a good open field tackle sets up a 3rd down here for the ACU defense.
We highlighted Winningham and Hudson, a combined 47 career touchdowns between the two of them. These two are incredible at the receiver spot. 3rd down, Smith, pressure, gets it away, Winningham. Now he's all alone. Can they catch him? They will not. Touchdown, Central Arkansas.
Touchdown, UCA.
57 yards to the All-American receiver, Lawan Winningham, his 25th career touchdown.
Single coverage in the slot, throw it. Had pressure on Smith, but the tackle's not made there, and then no safety help. And when Winningham gets an open space with that speed, you're not going to catch him. Important drive. The check mark goes to the Bears. They're right back in this thing after a huge pass and catch, 57 for the touchdown.
How about that? Extra point from Hayden Ray, the junior from Bryant, Arkansas. A much-needed answer for the Bears. Extra point is good. 5 plays, 75 yards in 2.5 minutes. UCA answers with a big-time drive, 14-7 ball game. Central Arkansas, it was Braylon Smith to Lawan Winningham. For Smith, his 72nd career touchdown. For Winningham, his 25th career touchdown, a much-needed one for Central Arkansas.
Well, just like that, one explosive play turned 16 minutes of dominance by ACU back into a competitive football game, and that's what this UCA offense can do. Hey, we've got guys like Winningham, get him in space, get him the football. One broken tackle and 57 yards has us back to a 7-point game.
Really incredible stuff when you have guys that can make plays like that. Kicking it off, Chandler Cogren. And a bobble, but bringing it out for ACU. Davion Johnson, boy, he can absolutely run. Takes it out to the 28-yard line.
So now, Zach, we flipped the question that we asked in the last series. Now the most important drive. Will ACU respond after a first quarter of dominance? 2 offensive series of 80-plus yards, 180, 190, both end in touchdowns. We're feeling good about ourselves. The defense has gotten us off the field, gotten us the football back. Now it's, you know, back to a one-score game and a little UCA momentum. How do the Wildcats now respond?
Drive starts at the 28. Stone Earl is 7 for his first 8 tonight. They're going to hand it to Jeremiah Dobbins. Runs into that wall of defense there on that line. This is a really good defensive line for UCA. Getting up from the bottom of the pile looked like big number 96, Jeremiah Gray. One of the defensive ends lining up at D tackle right now. Remember, they're without their starting safety, Christian Kane, and they're without their backup safety for the rest of this quarter, Cameron Godfrey, both because of targeting. Godfrey for targeting last Saturday against Sam Houston, and Kane was called for targeting in the first quarter tonight. Second down and 8, toss Kobe Clark. Coming up ahead and weaving his way to the 36, and 3rd and 2 coming up.
Good to get the ball in the hands of Clark, again, the leading receiver for this team, the 5'11 junior with 23 receptions coming in. He's now up over 300 yards of receiving on the year, and just got him in space. That'll go as a reception on the little shovel pass, and 3rd down and manageable here for the Wildcat offense, 3rd down and 2.
3rd catch of the game for Clark, 143 in his incredible ACU career. 3rd down. Earl's going to throw. Looking outside, Dax Neese with the catch. Tackled right there, but not before the first down's picked up. A Newsome on the stop. Long throw for Earl that time to pick up the first.
That's a long throw, but an easy, manageable throw. Again, just a quick out. You need 2, maybe 3 yards for the first down. You go with tight formation with a tight end to the left. Is it a running play? We've had some effectiveness running the football here to get things started, but no play action there. Just a quick design out pattern. Neese makes the catch, move the sticks, first down.
ACU a perfect 3 for 3 tonight on 3rd down. Remington Lutz, the tight end, in motion. Fake to Dobbins, time to throw. Wide open, it's Lutz. Down the seam, stays alive, keeps his footing, and he's tackled inside the 5-yard line by the safety, Kylan Stribling. They're gonna mark him out at the 4, and he takes it 69 yards down the middle of the field.
A good play design again. Safety help went to the near side of the field, the left side of the field. Lutz, again, just came in with 1 reception on the year, just slips out of his, what looks like his blocking position on that tight end position, right up the seam. Nobody's there. Big time gain, first down and goal.
His yards per catch are insane. He had a 59-yarder against SMU. His 3rd catch of the year goes for 69. Unbelievable. First and goal for ACU. Go to Anthony Smith on the left. Got a block to the pylon. Touchdown.
Zach, that might be the most impressive drive of the season right there for ACU. First time with a little adversity tonight, and they march right down the field. And I tell you what, Josh Lamberson, offensive coordinator for the Wildcats, is in the zone tonight. Boy, they look good. Just a stretch play off left tackle. Good seal block there on the end to get White to the corner and into the end zone.
3rd touchdown of the season for Anthony Smith, the Texas State transfer. For ACU, Blair Zepeda with the extra point. 5 plays, 72 yards. What an answer for the Wildcats. Anthony Smith, the TD, and ACU goes up 14. Back in Abilene, inside the Teague Special Events Center. Taking a look at this beautiful campus. Abilene Christian, 21-7. When Central Arkansas had started with the Remington Lutz 55-yard catch, stumbled, kept his footing, and then it ended with the Anthony Smith touchdown.
Oh, and Lutz won it in the end zone, tried the stiff arm there and just could not shake it off. But here's the touchdown. Smith stretches to the pylon on the outside. Nice little seal block by Reese Stafford, the redshirt freshman out of Frisco. to get Smith the corner, and 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns tonight for ACU.
You get away with a little hold on that one.
You know, a little fingertip on the jersey never hurt anybody, right?
That's right. That's right. I mean, if we ask him, he'd say he definitely didn't hold. So, ACU needed an answer, got an answer. They lead at 21-7. Andy Penny, you call that the drive of the season for Abilene Christian?
Well, I think so, because again, just first time to face adversity tonight. When I say adversity, it had really come so easy in that first quarter, but then Central Arkansas got the wheels turning on their last drive. How would ACU respond? Well, drove down the field again for the 3rd time in 3 possessions.
Zepeda actually kicks it off, really, for the first time tonight. He had done a lot of pooch and short kickoffs. That time he blasted out the back of the end zone, and here comes Central Arkansas to the 25-yard line. It's interesting. UCA's offense has moved the ball. Penalties have hurt them at key times in the first couple of drives, and then they had the touchdown to Winningham a drive ago.
Yeah, first drive they were in no man's land, had a 4th down and 2 that back-to-back false start penalties forced the Bears to punt on that drive, and really in their second drive were kind of in no man's land and unable to get any points on the board as they punted the football away as well. But moving the football well, as you look at the offensive numbers, UCA with 140 yards of offense, majority of it on their last drive.
Gonna reverse it and go back to Smith, and he wants Winningham. He's open. Lawan Winningham is tricked up at the 35-yard line by Coy Richardson. Nearly took that to the house. Instead, he's going to pick up 40 yards to the ACU 35.
A little razzle-dazzle backyard football, but a good play design and execution, and Winningham behind the defense again. The Bears have found something here. Stretched the field deep with Winningham, another big catch.
Digging into the bag of tricks is Ken Collins, the OC. Smith fakes. Open. It's Winningham again. What a quarter he's having. Down to the 6-yard line. This kid is dominating. 29 more yards. Here's the flea flicker.
Just well executed. Reverse. Give it back. Winningham behind the defense. Richardson fortunate to get an ankle and trip him up. But here on the next play, a post pattern right in the middle of the field again. Winningham behind the defense.
He's having himself the last couple of drives. Darius Hale on the carry. Alex Spadonchike Wankwo on to stop a pickup of 2. I mean, you're talking about it just in the game so far. Winningham already 5 grabs, 137 yards, and a touchdown. We got half the second quarter to go still.
Early favorite for Atlantic Sun Offensive Player of the Week, maybe?
No kidding.
A quarter and a half deep.
Oh, my goodness.
Again, it came in averaging 13.8 per reception. He's well over that thus far.
Second and goal at the 4. He's at the bottom of your screen, by the way, one-on-one. They are going to look that way. It's Winningham, and it's knocked away by Ryan Stapp, the corner. That's a heck of a play in man coverage, one-on-one in the end zone.
Well, you called it. Ball on the wide side of the field, the right hash. Winningham over here by himself with Ryan Stapp, but Stapp even giving up some size in that. As you look at Stapp, he sits at 6 foot. Winningham at 6'3", so a size advantage for Winningham. But I think Stapp saw it probably on pre-snap as well. Hey, I've got a whole side of the field with one big tall receiver. I've got to make a play, and Stapp makes the play. Had the pick 6 last week, gets the batted ball there.
Important 3rd and goal for UCA. This feels like a game that you don't want to be kicking field goals. This might be a timeout.
First yard, timeout of the half. Central Arkansas.
UCA faces 3rd down on the other side. In football anymore, trying to protect these guys. All right, here we go. We wondered, would they go for it? The answer is yes. Central Arkansas is going to go on 4th and goal at the 3.
They have yet to try to run down here inside the 5-yard line.
Richmond in motion. Smith rolls, throws, it is caught. It's Richmond. Christian Richmond for a big UCA touchdown.
Well-designed play. You flood the right side of the field. You bring motion across the formation, left to right. You snap it to Smith. He rolls out to the right as he rolls the pocket, and there it is. It's the motion man coming in motion and making the catch as Richmond out in the flat. Good effort there by ACU and trying to knock that one away, but Tristan Anderson just a titch too late, and a nice catch and a touchdown for the Bears.
A lot of traffic to work through if you're the corner Anderson there. This is Hayden Ray for the extra point for Central Arkansas. Both teams just answering one another right now. Extra point is good. That's a 6-play, 75-yard drive. 3rd touchdown of the year for Richmond.
A nice catch, and just late to try to deflect that one away. And the Bears have now answered as they get the touchdown. Now 15 touchdown passes on the year for Braylon Smith. 310 yards a game coming in. He's above that average already, or on pace to match or exceed the 310. He's at 163, and the quarterback ratings are just through the roof for these quarterbacks thus far. Braylon Smith at 13 of 17 for 163 and 2 touchdowns. Stone Earl 9 of 10 for 147 and 2 touchdowns. We knew we'd see some quarterback play tonight, and boy, have they come through.
449 yards combined offense in this first half. You know, we talked about 2 good quarterbacks when we came on the air tonight. 2 just well-oiled machines of an offense right now. I mean, you thought maybe we were talking off air, maybe first one to 30. I mean, this one might be first one to 45 tonight, the way we're going.
Yeah, 30 might be by halftime, the way these are going. 7 offensive possessions combined, 5 touchdowns in the 7 offensive possessions. ACU 3 for 3, about to get drive number 4.
Kickoff from Cochran, and it is Johnson from the 1. Ahead of steam. He runs out to the 26-yard line for Abilene Christian, and the tackle made by James Jordan.
Well, the play selection has been balanced for ACU. 11 runs, 11 passes thus far. More effective through the air, 153 yardage-wise to 81 on the ground. But the play selection tonight, the play calling has just been on point all night long to move the sticks, move the ball, and get in the end zone.
11 of the 22 plays run have gone for either first downs or touchdowns for Abilene Christian. It is a offense that is just on fire right now. Tyrese White, backside cut. He had some space. Knocked down by Nathan Grant, the defensive end, not before 7 yards on first down to White.
And if Nathan Grant does not make that tackle in space right there, that's a 30, 40, maybe all the way to the house type of run, because nobody was on the backside. That's a play designed to go left. White cuts it back to the right, and he's a shoestring tackle away from taking that one a long way.
We're going to talk about these running backs throughout the night. Adam Dorrell has talked about just how deep that group is. You've seen Anthony Smith, now Dobbins, and you've seen White, who is the starter. Dobbins is a guy who's been banged up, but it's such a deep group that it hasn't really mattered. Here's White, who's just been on fire for ACU. A flag comes in as White takes it into Central Arkansas territory. For now, it's a 17-yard run. We'll see if it holds.
I don't think the play will hold because there was some holding taking place by the Wildcats.
Poor choice of wording on my part. How about this?
Yeah, I think Bronson Warner, the offensive lineman, the redshirt freshman, who's in a backup role, I think he got caught with a takedown. It'll cost ACU a big play.
Jeremy Tate's been busy tonight.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist. Offense number 69. That 15-yard penalty enforced on the spot of the foul. It's second down.
So just a downfield block down below the waist, and there it is, right around. Now they call it below the waist. It looked like he had some hands around the waist, but nonetheless, a penalty takes away a big run and sets up a second down.
That's Bronson Warner, who's in at right guard right now, number 69. Jacob Thielen, typically the starter. Warner out there, the redshirt freshman from Minnesota, and a transfer from Iowa Western Community College.
Ball back to the ACU 27-yard line.
Offensive coordinator Josh Lamberson says Bronson Warner can rip a phone book in half. Anybody know what a phone book is anymore? That's the better question. Here's Kobe Clark in space, 4th catch of the game, and he is had all kinds of room to run, and he takes it out across the 40-yard line for a pickup of 14 and a first down.
Give credit to his teammate out there, his colleague in the receiving corps, Denver Holman, with a nice block to get him on the edge. That's where Kobe Clark does his damage. Get him the ball in space with his speed, get him one block to give him maybe the edge and then some, and turns a short gain, or short pass at least, out in the flat into enough to move the sticks again, another first down.
Now all I can think about is watching Bronson Warner rip a phone book. I got to see this on video at some point. From the 41-yard line, Earl fakes. They want backside. Oh, and it's through the hands of Clark. And that is a forward pass. And it falls incomplete. That play looked clunky from the start, didn't it?
I was about to say, if there's a play that an incomplete pass is a good thing, that might have been one. That just did not look good from the get-go. Yeah, something right there just didn't look good. So if there is a play to have a good incomplete pass, that might have been it. Let's reset, second down and 10.
Have you seen a quarterback that moves to the opposite side as much as Stone Earl does for Abilene Christian? They love rolling him left. Pistol formation here. To the ground, back to Anthony Smith, who's had a nice first half. Takes it to the 46-yard line, and third down and 5 coming up.
Love the play design here. As we mentioned earlier, Coach Dorrell really complimentary of his receivers blocking down the field. And I love the play design where they have trips receivers on the near side, but all three are inside the hash, almost like extended tight ends who just sealed the edge there. White able to pick up 5.
They need the Central Arkansas 49-yard line. ACU 3 for 3 on third down tonight. Earl's going to take off. He's got room, and he's right at the yard line he needed to get to, and I think it's going to be a first down as he gets just enough on 3rd and 5. Marking him right at that 49, and they're moving the chains.
The Central Arkansas defense did exactly what they wanted. They played coverage, they dropped their linebacker in the second unit, and they forced Earl to run the football. They just don't collapse fast enough before Stone can pick up the 5 yards. Move the sticks, plus territory again at the 49.
One thing I did notice too, he did not slide. If he would have slid, it would have been where you start the slide to mark him down. Good job by Earl. First down in plus territory. They love to take shots here. It's a fake all day for Stone. Earl's got a huge arm, and now he takes off. He has done this all night long, and he picks up 9 after a big hit there from J.W. Jones and T.J. Campbell, the linebacker.
I think that was a design deep ball as Alex Spadone, who was on the top side, the left side of the formation, ran a deep post with no safety help. And I think Stone wanted to throw it, but at the last minute decides, no, I'm not going to. Let's get what I can on the ground, and he's able to pick up 9.
Does he look like a redshirt freshman out there? He is so poised. High formation. Fake the handoff, and now they'll dump it. Oh, nice snag, and it goes for a loss by Tyrese White. He is going to be knocked down outside the 45. Another screen type of play that doesn't work for ACU.
Yeah, second time on this drive we've seen kind of a play action throwback screen in the flat. And again, this time the ball's caught. We talked about the first one. Maybe it's good to have an incomplete pass. Yeah. This time the catch is made, and it goes for a 6-yard loss. A 2nd and 1 turns into a 3rd and 7. Tough situation here. The longest third down, I believe, of the night here for the ACU offense.
This is a gigantic third down for the Central Arkansas defense. How about this number? 48 points scored for ACU with under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter this season. A remarkable number. They have a chance to add to that here. 3rd and 7. Timeout ACU first.
3rd and final charge. Timeout of the half. Abilene Christian.
That's the final timeout for ACU here in the first half. They'd already burned their first 2, so out of timeouts. 2:46 to work with. Plenty of time to work with, but out of timeouts the rest of the half.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 7 for Adam Dorrell in this Abilene Christian offense, and so. It's so important not only for ACU, they want to try to get some more points here, but Central Arkansas, they can get off the field and give this prolific offense a chance here.
before the end of the half. This is as big a third down as you can ask for late in the first half of the ball game.
I'm trying to think strategically here. Is this 4-down territory? Do you consider going for it on 4th down if you don't? But then if you look at the success of Central Arkansas's offense, time and distance has really not been the the indicator of whether or not you do that or not, because they're so prolific and can get up the field. Zach, if it's me, I think it's 4-down territory.
Yeah, and you figure if they could get at least half of this, they would probably go for it. We'll see. 3rd down and 7. To your point, no timeouts left for ACU. Earl gonna throw, and that is incomplete. Down along the sideline, intended for Alex Spadone. A Newsome on the coverage. Now the decision to be made. That's a drop.
Yeah, that's one that Wildcats should have had. That's a drive that just kind of imploded on the last few plays. The throwback screen that loses 6, and then the drop pass for an incompletion. Boy, ACU might grit their teeth on that. Had a 2nd down and 1 at the UCA 40. The drive goes backwards, stalls out, and they'll punt the football here to the Bears.
Now Logan Burke, the redshirt senior second-year Wildcats, going to punt it. Try to pin Central Arkansas deep. Back deep, Tyler Hudson, and that's at the 5, and it's going to hop in to the end zone. And so that is just going to be a net difference of 26 yards. A UCA gigantic stop for this Bear defense. Now a chance to even this thing up, or at least try to go get points before halftime.
And I think that's what's crazy, Zach, is as I kind of look at this first half, it feels like it's been ACU dominant.
Right.
The scoreboard doesn't indicate that. The yardage doesn't, and that's a compliment to this UCA offense. First of all, responding, falling behind 14-0 after the first 15 minutes, and then their explosiveness. Their 2 touchdown drives, which have been their last 2, 5 plays 75 yards in 2.5 minutes, 6 plays 75 yards in 1:57. They're in their wheelhouse here. 80 yards to go, 2:35 on the clock.
Yeah, we know they can move it. Score it. Whittingham has been an absolute monster tonight for the Bears in this passing game. Smith to throw on 1st down, open over the middle and out across the 40-yard line is Kylan James, a freshman running back.
The Bears have found a spot they like, and it's between the 2nd and 3rd layers of the defense, behind the linebacking core, in front of the secondary, and in the middle of the field. That post pattern's really been open.
How about James, who lines up in the slot and makes the catch? The running back's Tristan Smith. UCA really not in a hurry. I mean, despite it heading towards 2 minutes to go in the first half. Remember, in college football, the clock stops on every 1st down. There's plenty of time and 2 timeouts for UCA. From the 43, they'll hand it. This is Tristan Smith. He hops through, keeps his footing, and takes it to the 40-yard line. 17 yards to the big bruiser running back.
Well, just designed to the left, good blocking, getting out on the edge. Brian Bullock, the safety who comes up, that's his tackle to make, and he doesn't make the tackle. He turns it into a big gain. Good to see Ryan Statt back on the field. He's able to push him out of bounds, but good gain. 2 plays already in the positive territory, 40 yards on just 2 plays.
1:48 to go, 4-man rush. Time runs out for Smith, and open and dropped at the 25-yard line is Richmond, who caught the touchdown on the previous drive, had one wide open in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it's a slap your hands together and hit yourself on the side of the helmet and say, oh my goodness, I wish I had that one back. Just right in the hands and fell out. Great pocket that time for Smith. Had all day to throw. And again, the 2nd and 3rd tier level, 15 to 20 yards center of the field, has been an area of weakness here for this Wildcat defense. Got lucky there with the incomplete drop pass. Empty backfield here, 2nd down and 10, ball on the 40.
UCA had 326 yards of offense last week. They are already at 255 tonight. Smith, design keeper. Hunter Keir, the ACU leading tackler on the stop after a gain of 2.
Keir stayed home, the spy that time on Smith. Empty backfield, 5 receiver sets. Trying to steal 5 to 10 to 15 yards on the quarterback keeper, but Keir, a nice job. As you mentioned, the leading tackler on this team. Comes up now 3rd down and 8.
one of the 10 captains for Abilene Christian. 3rd and 8. UCA 4 for 7 tonight on 3rd down. ACU brings 5 on the blitz to the outside for Richmond, and it's just short, incomplete on the out route. And now a decision for Central Arkansas at the 38-yard line. Offense is staying on the field.
Well, one of the few times that ACU's brought pressure tonight, and I think it forced a quick throw quicker than he wanted to throw, and Smith just skipped it in short and it falls incomplete. They're going to go here, 4th down.
Winningham not targeted yet on the drive.
Single coverage on the bottom side.
4th and 8. Winningham, at the bottom of your screen. They're going to pooch it. It's a pooch punt. Second time they've done that this year with Smith. That's a pretty good leg he's got to knock that down at the 7-yard line. And with 49 seconds left, ACU is going to have the ball. They decide to go and just punt it with the QB Smith.
At the ACU 7-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10.
Thoughts on that decision?
Not terrible. You still have 30 minutes of football to go.
Yeah.
Don't want to give ACU a short field with 50 seconds to work with. A field goal could be the difference tonight. So, take your licks. That's a drive again that you had a 1st and 10 at the ACU 40 and a drop pass over the middle that really began to stall out that drive. But I think, hey, you wave the white flag on the drive, you punt it deep. I think both teams may be content to get this one to halftime. It's been an impressive first half for both teams.
See what ACU does here with 49 seconds. No timeouts for the Wildcats. Quick throw. Kobe Clark. Caught that off the ground, and then he's going to hop out of bounds. That may be a loss or right at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, no gain.
Well, that's one for ACU. I think that's tough. One, if that's an incomplete pass, the clock stops. Now that Clark goes out of bounds, the clock stops. UCA still does have 2 timeouts, so now ACU really forced to get a 1st down if they're going to run out this first half, because if the Bears wanted to, they could now get the football back with a stop on 2nd and 3rd down.
And we'll see if that changes the thought of Nathan Brown to try to call a couple of timeouts, maybe get one more chance with potentially a shorter field. We'll see. 2nd and 10. Now they'll hand it off. This is Anthony Smith, who in a helmet flies off.
Number 20, Anthony Smith on the carry.
And that is going to be a timeout called by Central Arkansas.
I don't know if they called it. I think they.
Or was it just for the helmet?
Yeah, I think they stopped the clock because the helmet came off. I think they'll wind it, but unless, again, Central Arkansas decides to take the timeout. I didn't see the official indication for a timeout. I think initially the clock stopped because the helmet came off.
They're talking to Nathan Brown. He's wondering if they have to call a timeout, probably. If a helmet comes off, does the clock stop and then rerun again? Do they need to call it defensively?
Central Arkansas has elected not to take the 10-second runoff when offensive player's helmet coming off. Second charge timeout of the half. Central Arkansas. It'll be 30 seconds in length.
Great explanation from Jeremy Tate, the referee. Helmet comes off, it would be a 10-second runoff unless you want to use a timeout.
And Central Arkansas decides to take the timeout here. And now, as you see the 2nd down play again, now here on 3rd down, and it's 3rd down and 8, almost 9, and still a timeout for Central Arkansas. ACU forced to try to get this 1st down. I think when the drive started, Zach, I think the Bears were content to take this thing to halftime. But after the 1st down play where the Wildcats help you out by running out of bounds and stopping the clock, essentially giving you what is a 3rd timeout on the drive because the clock stops, I think the whole philosophy changes. Wildcats inside their own 10-yard line. If you stop them here, you can try to block a punt, or you get short field position with a good return. Who knows what can happen here in the final 37 seconds.
Helmet came off of Caden Brown, the defensive tackle. Because of the timeout, he can come back in to the field of play, and that's what he's doing here on 3rd and 8. ACU is going to hand it off. It's Jeremiah Dobbins. He's going to get stopped at the 10-yard line. Timeout UCA. here we go, a chance with exactly 30 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Kind of mark that one down on just notes as far as this first half plays out. We'll see how the next 30 seconds play out. It could be a moot point, but you are forcing special teams, you being Central Arkansas, by calling the timeouts, are forcing special teams to come into play here in the final 30 seconds, and we've seen what special teams can do. ACU was the beneficiary of a block punt against Texas Permian Basin just a few weeks ago that led to a late first half score, and now the roles are reversed and Central Arkansas might come after this one.
And it's all because, as you said, of Kobe Clark going out of bounds on that opening play. That changed everything and everyone's thinking on both sides of the ball. And again, even if he hadn't have caught the ball, it would have been an incomplete pass, to your point as well. That was a gigantic first down play. And Logan Burke's punting out of his end zone.
Looks like the Bears are coming. They've got 10 down.
And Tyler Hudson standing at the 50. He's going to get it away. This is going to be good field position. 49-yard line. Hudson on the return. He hurdles a man for the second time tonight. And this field position is inside the 30-yard line, all because of what happened on the first play for ACU. They decided to throw it, and Clark goes out of bounds.
Yeah, again, 1st and 10, about 50 seconds on the clock. It's a pass that he catches on the shoe tops and then runs out of bounds. UCA only had 2 timeouts. That essentially the third timeout on a 3-and-out series. And now with the good punt return, as Tyler Hudson returned that one, I believe, inside the 30. Yeah, marked at the 28. They're essentially in field goal range right now. They're at 45 yards for a field goal attempt right now, but 20 seconds to work with. Now, no timeouts in their pocket. They'll have to work the sidelines or a deep post into the end zone, but points are still available here in the final 20 seconds.
And if they do get out of bounds, Hayden Race, 30 for 37 in his career, the kicker for the Bears. 28-yard line, 20 seconds to go. Smith gonna dump it off. This is Jack Short out of bounds. Small pickup, but more importantly, to the 25-yard line, and he stops the clock.
7 seconds off the clock. UCA maybe 2 more opportunities. Short out routes or 1 throw into the end zone. 2 plays to work with. Smith cannot hold the ball back in the pocket. He's got to throw a short designed pass or 1 deep ball in a hurry. You can't sit back there and let the play develop too long.
If they do throw it over the middle, they'd have to get up and clock it very quickly. 2nd down and 7. Smith, sideline again. Hudson open. And did he get out of bounds? He is not out of bounds, but the clock will stop because of the first down. But now they got to get up and clock the ball here. There's only 2 seconds left. The clock runs 1 second. There's no time on the clock. This is going to be crazy. The ball's at the 10-yard line. Did they clock it in time? And Tyler Hudson, you got to get out of bounds.
And he tried. He spun for more yardage, and then he realized, oh, crud, I got to get out of bounds. And he tried to stretch the football out to the white paint of the sideline, but I think his knee came down before he did. 2 seconds to try to clock it. And the clock here shows zeros, but the officials have come together. Did he get the spike within 2 seconds?
And we're going to take a look at the replay. We don't have the clock on the screen here, but the question is, did he even go out of bounds? No, he did not.
He never went out of bounds.
So now on the spike of the ball, where's the clock at is the question. ACU was headed to the locker room.
One way or the other, one head coach is not going to be happy on this call. We'll tell you that.
Here we go.
The ruling on the field is that the clock expired. Play is under review.
You can look again at the replay here. You can see the clock on the back wall in the far end zone. There's 2. And the clock is wound. And the clock hits, it's at 1 still, but the ball is already off of the turf. But once the ball is spiked, the clock says 0 on the back wall. Great job by our production crew.
Phenomenal job.
Look at that camera angle. You can see the clock. There's the snap. but the ball has to hit the ground as an incomplete pass, and it does after the zeros, after the triple zeros. This will be an interesting call, but a great look at it there from the production crew here at Wildcat Stadium.
So go figure, you have maybe an all-time blunder for Kobe Clark to not get out of bounds, and then you have the other star receiver for Central Arkansas maybe have an all-time blunder.
We're at the end of the play. The clock has expired. It is halftime.
It's halftime. The craziest way to go to half. Tyler Hudson did not get out of bounds, and no points were scored. ACU leads at 21-14 at halftime. Nathan Brown not happy with that one. That's how we go to the break. Abilene Christian 21, Central Arkansas 14. We got a lot to talk about. A busy halftime on ESPN coming up after this.
Supermarkets tailgate crew before
community I've ever been a part of.
It's a strong and loving community. Honestly, they've presented me with so many opportunities to excel and try new things and really stretch myself every time I work a game.
ACUTV is definitely my favorite thing that I do on campus. I definitely would recommend this to people coming in. No matter what major you are, you're gonna learn and you're gonna make a lot of friends that you wouldn't know otherwise.
Especially as a freshman, it's a great experience from the start because at other schools you wouldn't probably get your hands on like this expensive equipment until you're an intern somewhere or a senior, but we get to start freshman year, first week. That's a big part of ACUTV and the journalism department here at ACU. Like, you get that experiential learning from the start, and it's great.
Being able to have the opportunity to work with a big company like ESPN is probably one of the best things I could ask for at ACU.
You're not going to get that many chances outside of ACU, not to mention as such a small university to offer something as big as ESPN for students, something that very few students get the chance to partake in, and that's something that ACUTV offers.
I can be on live television, I can write, I can do all of this stuff. And so it was really an eye-opener for me that, you know, I don't just write news stories and I don't just work graphics for ESPN, that I can do everything. And that's something I think has been really valuable about working at ACUTV is it gives students the opportunity to do everything.
It's a lot of people who know how to do their jobs really well, and they all get together and they create something amazing.
Sometimes it might feel like they're just like throwing you, but at the same time, there are people around you who are on that same journey with you. And students should be excited to come to ACU and work for a place like ACUTV.
Back in Abilene, Texas, a halftime of ACU leading 21-14 over Central Arkansas. We have a lot to get to at the half here. That was a wild way to end that first half. We'll talk about all of that coming up. But first, ACUTV's Emily Schaefer, a very important feature on a couple of walk-ons for Abilene Christian. Dustin Ennis and Reese Stafford from walk-on to scholarship. Take a look at this.
Hey, look on the screen, Dustin. Congratulations on your scholarship.
When you received the scholarship there on the field, what kind of emotions were you experiencing?
All the emotions at once, if that makes sense. Just like everything you've been working towards and just like the highest goal, that like why you come to the school, and just some relief knowing that you get the scholarship, but mostly just excitement and love from your teammates is what I felt the most.
We got a guy who, what happened? There it is. Earned a scholarship today.
My first reaction was just to like run and like just go sit down in a corner or something and just start crying, but everybody was like jumping on top of me and I couldn't really get my mind straight. So I just became exploding with emotion and happiness and relief that I told my mom I would do this for her, and I finally did it. So.
Were you expecting this scholarship? Was this something that you were kind of working towards your whole college career?
I never expected it. This is something I've always been working toward ever since my junior year of high school. I had no clue until they sat us down over here on the field, and Coach Doral handed me this little piece of paper, and I was like, and I just exploded. But yeah, I've always worked for this.
Definitely something I was working towards. It wasn't necessarily something I was expecting, not at all, but I was just something I've always been working towards. It definitely caught me off guard.
What were your parents' reaction to the scholarship that you received?
So they actually told my parents before me, and so they were on FaceTime.
Hey Mom, hey Dad, you guys know?
They were so excited, my mom especially. You know, Mom, she has came to everything my whole life, every practice, every sport, you know, she doesn't miss anything. And I think for her, like, she was even more excited than me just to see like all the work I've put in over the years come through and like have a purpose.
I'll call you later, love you.
What kind of difference does having supportive parents make in your game?
Whether that's a parent like actually being there or like just like supporting you from wherever they are in the world, I mean, it means the world to me, especially because I know that no matter how much I play on the field or how good or bad I play on the field, it doesn't matter because I have my two parents to fall back on.
Have you seen any change in your game after receiving this honor?
I hope not. I hope that I'm still preparing as if I wasn't getting any money, because I mean, it's all for the love of the game. That's why we play the sport. But I think I'm still working as hard as I can to earn playing time, to earn my job, and to play the best that I can.
I wouldn't say I'm playing better. I feel like I've always tried to do my best, even if I had the money or not. I mean, that's not how I really go about it. It's just sort of like a integrity thing. I always want to do my best no matter if I have something or not.
During the game against Louisiana College, you scored an epic touchdown and your reaction was priceless. What did that mean to you?
It's actually a lot bigger than what a lot of people think, because that actually is, I think, my first touchdown in my whole career. I played defense my whole life, and running into that touchdown and diving into it, I was ecstatic. I wanted to keep the ball after, but I was like, I'll throw it away, it's okay, maybe I'll get it after, but yeah, it was amazing.
Back Reese Stafford, the redshirt freshman from Frisco, Texas, gets his way into the scoring column for ACU.
To the walk-on tour, walking on now, I would say it's worth it because all the hard work that you put in every day, for the moment when you get a scholarship, or even if you don't get a scholarship, it'll worth it because at the end, you know the work that you put in will work measures in your life, whether it's here now or later down the road. I think that's why it should be worth it for everyone.
Halftime in Abilene, Texas. 21-14, Abilene Christian on top of Central Arkansas here on ESPN. And welcome inside the booth, everybody. Zach Carlisle along with Andy Penny. Well, I think it's safe to say that was a wild first half of play. 35 points combined. The offenses looked really good.
Yeah, it's been an offensive slugfest. 570 yards combined. Both teams with 7 different receivers in the category, in the receiving category. Wow. Yeah, it's been an offensive slugfest, no doubt. This one might go down to the final stretch tonight, the final possession, if the second half's anything like the first half.
Take a look at the end of that first half, because there was some really weird stuff that happened there. After Kobe Clark went out of bounds, a helmet came off, and then all of a sudden a timeout that didn't need to be called. Central Arkansas is going to get the ball back now, and then they squandered this, and it started because Kobe Clark went out of bounds. That was a crazy couple of seconds there.
Yeah, kind of an offensive blunder for ACU on their final possession. The first play, as you see here, Clark goes out of bounds. UCA, I think, content to take it to the half, but when Clark goes out of bounds, essentially gives them another timeout. They force the ACU punt. You see the return here, and a great return by Tyler Hudson inside the 30, but then as time was running out, Hudson doesn't get out of bounds, Willingham doesn't get out of bounds, and the clock runs out of bounds, as you'll see it continue here as Smith throws the ball out here on the outside. The catch is made, and it's by Hudson, but Hudson does not get out of bounds with no timeouts left. Central Arkansas can't get the spike. You see the clock on the back wall that goes to zeros before the spike hits. UCA left points out on the field, not on the scoreboard. At least could have had 3 points there to get back within 4, but it's a 7-point spread because of the blunder there at the first half.
That was absolutely crazy. So it holds at 21-14 after all of that. How about this now? You mentioned it, 570 total yards of offense between these two teams. This has been insane. No turnovers. The offenses really have moved the ball at will.
No doubt. And ACU, it was very structured, I hate to say methodical, but very structured. I thought the play calling in the first half was just phenomenal from offensive coordinator Josh Lambertson and company. What we saw on the flip side of that, explosive plays. Central Arkansas can go, and they can go in a hurry. A 6-play drive of 75 yards, a 5-play drive of 75 yards, both result in touchdowns. They'll be in this thing until the end just because of their explosiveness on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch. I expect half number 2 to have just about as many fireworks as the first half did. And again, if you like offense, this is a great game for you. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch here, I think, in the second half. And we're about ready to kick this thing off. ACU had won the toss and deferred to get this thing started. But that means the Wildcats are going to get it to start the second half with a 7-point lead. That's important because this offense has been moving up and down the field.
Well, the thing is, you can stay at arm's length as long as you continue to move the football and put points on the scoreboard when you start the second half with a 7-point lead and start the second half with the football. It becomes that much more critical. And Adam Dorrell even said it in his press conference earlier this week. Most important possession of the game is the first one of the second half, offensively or defensively, or a combination of the two. But if you can go down, now you know what the last 30 minutes look like. You're ahead, you're behind, here's what you have to do. If you can go out and execute what you talked about at halftime, first drive of the second half, most important, it becomes very, very critical, and the Wildcats will get the football to start half number 2.
Well, we'll see. Chandler Cochran's going to kick off. Central Arkansas's -10 in the third quarter this year. Abilene Christian +20. What does the second half bring us? It is a short kick from Cochran, a fair catch at the 10, and it brings it to the 25-yard line. Stone Earl, 12 for 15, 155 yards. And 2 touchdowns in the first half and a rating of 210. He was spectacular. Efficient has been a word you've used for him all season long.
Again, Josh Lambertson, I can't go on enough about the offensive coordinator here for ACU. He keeps the game simple for Stone. The throws are I hate to say simple throws because no throw on a Division I level is necessarily a simple throw, but it's very manageable, and he helps Stone see the field well and move the football down the field.
He's up to 13 touchdown passes for the season now. Is the redshirt freshman. He's going to throw it here on first down, a diving effort. Kobe Clark couldn't haul it in at the 40-yard line. Immediate pressure from J.W. Jones, the defensive end. He was all over Stone Earl on his. He had tried to attempt that throw over the middle. Second down.
And that might be a strategic piece here for Central Arkansas. Hey, let's ramp up the pressure that we try to get in Earl's face. And boy, Stone had to throw that one in a hurry as he was hit right as he threw it.
Second down and 10. Jeremiah Dobbins. Again, here's a guy who has battled a hamstring. That is just something that lingers, and it started early in camp, started against SMU, then they took him off for a couple of weeks. He's trying to get back into the swing of things.
And Coach Durrell said he's getting there. He's getting back to speed. Even Jeremiah last week after the Lamar game where he had a few carries and mop-up duty, even Jeremiah said, hey, I missed some cuts on some runs, and it's just because he hasn't seen it visually, instinctually in a couple of weeks. But Coach Durrell said he's getting back to true form, Jeremiah Dobbins.
Third down and 6. ACU was 4 for 6 on third down in the first half. Earl with all day to throw. looks to the sideline, knocked away. That is a great play by a defensive lineman, Logan Jessup, to knock it away from the intended target, Alex Spadone.
All sorts of time to throw. The pocket was great. Spadone just sat down, first down territory right on the sideline. It looked like a completion, and yeah, the defensive end, Jessup, out of nowhere gets the left paw on it, deflects it. It's a 3-and-out series for the Wildcats.
We call that a pass breakup. It's his first of the season. I could have probably guessed that without having to look at the stat sheet. What a great play by Jessup, the sophomore out of Wynne, Arkansas. Logan Burke punts it. A 3-and-out for ACU. We haven't seen 3-and-outs tonight. That doesn't happen. Tyler Hudson along the sideline to the 22-yard line and a 49-yard punt. Well, that's about as great of a start Central Arkansas could have asked for to start the third quarter.
Well, if it's the most important drive of the game, give the check mark, obviously, to Central Arkansas. Field position, they'll start in pretty good territory, right around just outside their 20-yard line, but a good stop. And after the blunder to end the first half, and you think Central Arkansas thinks, oh, in our head we had a chance to tie this thing before halftime. Well, now you take the field to start the second half with the same opportunity, a chance to drive down and tie the football game.
Braylon Smith in that first half, 16 out of 23, 204 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Start on the ground, Darius Hale, freshman running back. Knocked down from behind by Dre Jones, the defensive tackle out of Georgia.
Just 71 yards of rushing for the Bears in the first half, but again, this is a throwing team, over 300 per contest through the air, just not near that on the ground, just 82, I believe, on the ground. So well above their average in both categories, running and passing through the first half.
Maybe trying to keep ACU a little honest on that defensive side, but now they spread it out and go 5 wide.
We've seen Smith run out of this quarterback draw.
Time to throw here, crossing battered incomplete, looking for Hudson. Ryan Stapp has had himself a night at corner. They had him tested for a concussion in the first half, was able to come back. He has been all over the field tonight for Abilene Christian.
Stapp knew it would have to be a big game for him tonight just because of the explosiveness of this passing offense. The 6-foot sophomore, 17 tackles on the year, had the pick 6 last week against Lamar. One of 3 touchdowns that this defense has scored in the last 2 weeks. 7 takeaways in the last 2 weeks. Stapp made a big play there. It's a big third down.
That's his 3rd pass breakup of the ball game. UCA 4 for 8 on 3rd down in the first half. First one of the 3rd quarter. Smith taking a shot down that sideline for Hudson, incomplete. Roland Williams at coverage, and a flag comes down at the 35-yard line.
I think we're going to have pass interference here. A lot of jersey grabbing by Williams. I think he got caught. We'll give a lot of credit there to Smith, the quarterback. Single safety deep. Corners were playing man-to-man coverage, and he looks to the left, and Coy Richardson rolls to the left, to this near side for coverage, and then Smith throws it back to the far side. And Williams, a lot of contact. The officials are talking about it.
I don't know. That might be offensive. I mean, I don't know. Let's find out. Jeremy Tate will tell us. It is on the defense.
Well, the official who threw it was well up the field around the line of scrimmage. The official that's right behind the play does not throw the flag. You can see right there in your shot. The official who throws it is the line judge on the far side who starts on the line of scrimmage, working his way down the sideline. He's the one that actually threw the flag. And the pass interference will give an automatic first down here to the Bears.
Boy, you could argue that could have gone either way on that one. Williams and
Penalty moves the ball to the 41-yard line.
Hudson down there. All right, first down at the 41 for Central Arkansas. 3 receivers at the top, including those 2 studs in Winningham and Hudson. They're going to hand it the opposite way to Darius Hale. A lot of cutting and not a lot of room. Greg Green Missed last week against Lamar. He's out here tonight for ACU.
Green makes the tackle, but give Dre Jones and Will Morgan up front a lot of credit for just plugging holes. Jordan Pop was up there plugging holes, and that's how it's designed. Your defensive lineman plugs holes, your linebackers step up. Greg Green steps up, makes that play. Second down.
Loss of 2.
Empty backfield again.
Smith to throw, Smith to go down. That's Will Morgan. The sack for Abilene Christian. How about that?
That's back-to-back plays, good defensive pressure. Will Morgan up front making that play. And now what looked like a promising drive to start the second half is now third down and a long ways to go, third and 22.
First sack of the year for Morgan, the redshirt sophomore out of Forney, Texas.
Two safety here. Playing cover 2. Throw it and want the Bears to throw it underneath and go make the tackle, force them to punt.
Third and 22. Smith, he might want it all. Down to sideline, Winningham. He is open, and that is all Braylon Smith, who finds his All-American for the first down on 3rd and 22. He got 29.
Well, that's two guys who have played together a long time because it's two deep safeties. The corners are working their way back as well, but when it looks like Smith might scramble and start to run, the corner comes up and it leaves Willingham with space to make the catch 29 yards down the field, and a huge Central Arkansas first down.
6 grabs, 165 yards, and a touchdown tonight. This kid is incredible. Empty backfield again. Over the middle, Ryan Stapp tried to dive for an interception as Hudson was the intended target. Maybe a miscommunication there. First down.
Either that or a misstep. Willingham looked like
broken up on the play by number 3,
that was Hudson that might have turned an ankle out of a cut or something and fell down, and that left the passing lane for Stapp to jump into, almost make the interception. Hey, Willingham stats tonight: 6 catches, 165 yards. It's just 27.5 yards per catch tonight for Willingham. What a night.
3 receivers at the top on 2nd and 10. Screen to the outside. I think it's Mitchell Perkinson. He's got it, and he has got some room to rumble. And he tumbles down to the 32 for a first. Elijah Moffitt, rather, on the stop for ACU.
Again, it's just a numbers game on the outside. Get the ball out in the flat in a hurry. It's a 3-on-3 type of situation. And when you get the 2 nice blocks out there on the edge, which he was able to get, he turns it into a first down, Mitchell Perkinson.
Injury timeout for Elijah Moffitt, the safety for ACU. Back in a bit. Well, they're stretching out the legs of Elijah Moffitt, the safety down there for Abilene Christian. This is first down and 10 for Central Arkansas after the injury timeout. Darius Hale, the runner, breaks 1 tackle and now heads to the sideline, and there's a flag. That might be on that broken tackle there. This could be against Abilene Christian.
We have a flag on the play.
Well, this is a critical call here as UCA again able to keep that drive alive on the 3rd and 22. ACU had a chance to get off the field. And that'll put the ball inside the red zone here for Central Arkansas, just taking advantage of what the defense gives you. First, they give you space to complete the 3rd and 22, and now they give you a 15-yard face mask or half the distance to the goal, and the Bears inside the 15.
It's on Jack Schultz, the redshirt junior defensive tackle out of California. Transfer from the College of the Canyons. And it's at the 14. It is Darius Hale, and that's a great tackle in space by Brian Bullock, the safety, the redshirt junior from Austin, Texas, and a transfer from the Northwestern Wildcats.
Short side of the field, flood the left side of the field with receivers, so it's really a one-on-one matchup. And if Bullock doesn't make that tackle, it's probably a touchdown by Hale. Great open field tackle by Bullock and a gain of 1.
It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Bears.
They need the 4-yard line for a first down, a substitution, so When the offense subs, that then gives the defense a chance to sub. As you see Big 97 Will Morgan run out, and that's a timeout.
Well, play clock was down to 2. A late substitution on the offense, and as you mentioned, defense gets a chance to match it. And because of that, a timeout for the Bears.
We'll take a timeout with them. Second and 9 rather, for Central Arkansas out of the timeout. Third quarter action from Abilene, Texas. UCA trying to drive down, potentially tie this one up. 5 minutes into the third quarter, Darius Hale to the outside. Roland Williams knocks him out of bounds. Opportunity for UCA, their opening drive of this third quarter.
It's their third red zone drive of the night. Scored on their first one. The second one was the end of the half blunder where the clock ran out before they could spike the football. So 1 for 2 in the red zone. This is their third opportunity, but big play here for the ACU defense, trying to hold them to a field goal, 3rd down 7.
Central Arkansas needs the ACU 4-yard line. Smith to throw to the end zone. He's got a man. It is caught. Christian Richmond for the touchdown. His second of the ball game on an out route and a perfect throw from Braylon Smith. Central Arkansas an extra point away from tying the ball game.
Richmond, the slot receiver on the near side. Pressure from ACU off the edge, and Richmond read it as he ran his route. He ran the out pattern. There's no help in that portion of the end zone. No corner dropping to help there because he's playing short coverage in the flat. Great pass and catch, and we're an extra point away from a tie football game.
Hayden Ray knocks it through. 11 plays, 78 yards. Richmond's got 2 of them. We're tied. You take a peek inside that ACU TV studio. Whole gang doing a great job here tonight. Abilene Christian at Central Arkansas knotted up at 21 apiece. UCA takes that opening drive of their third quarter. Abilene Christian went 3 and out, and then the Bears come down the field and tie this thing up after the touchdown pass to Christian Richmond. And the kickoff fielded by Davion Johnson at the 2. Here he goes with a head of steam across the 25 and out to the 30-yard line. So this game tied up at 21.
Brought down at the ACU 30-yard line. It'll be first and 10
early on here in the third quarter. Zach Carlisle along with Andy Penny. Glad to have you with us tonight. I mean, how about this? I mean, Central Arkansas, it looked like it was all ACU early. Back come the Bears. All of a sudden, we're even at 21.
And it's crunch time, really the first time for ACU in 5 games that they'll be pressured here in the second half. When I say pressured, a game that's still on the line in their 4 games, really haven't had a tight contest in the second half, but they'll have to respond here.
That's a pass to Darius Lewis. You know, here's a reason why this game feels so important, in particular for Abilene Christian. Here's the series history between these. Look at this. Central Arkansas has dominated the series. 9-1-1. The tie was when they first met in 1939 at the bottom of the graphic there. 5 straight wins in a series for Central Arkansas since 2015. ACU would love to have a defining win on their program here tonight. A toss to Lewis, who has been seeing the football in the first 2 plays of this drive. 3rd down for Abilene Christian. All of a sudden, this Central Arkansas defense starting to figure some things out.
Yeah, 2 straight 3-and-out series for the Wildcats dating back to the end of the first half and their first drive here of the second half. And now 3rd down and tough, 3rd down and 4. After 2 run plays, does Stone get a chance to throw it here, 3rd down and 4?
Empty backfield. They're going to let this kid sling it. He's got an arm to do so. And instead, they're going to keep it with Earl, and he is going to push forward. Uh-oh. He may have lost the ball. Central Arkansas thinks they got the turnover. UCA thinks it's theirs, and it is. The first turnover of the game is a big one. Coming out onto the bottom of the pile is Tamarian Wilson. The freshman safety comes up with it.
We can't fault the grit, the hustle, and effort there for Stone Earl. He knows that he needs the 40-yard line for the first down, and he's just trying second, third, fourth effort. And as he's doing it, the ball gets stripped out. Central Arkansas comes up with the football. Again, just trying to make a play, but in the situation, cost his team their first giveaway of the night. A team that came in with a +3 turnover margin. They're -1 now tonight, and that's a big one.
Yeah, how about that? -4 is UCA on the season in turnover margin, and that is a big one that they needed. And they'll start at the 39 of ACU. Smith throws it. This is Richmond. What a game. He has been busy. Moffitt and Adams bring him down. Pickup was 7 yards. All of a sudden, halfway through this third quarter, this game was 14-0. Abilene Christian. UCA has scored 21 of the last 28 points. Now a chance to grab their first lead of the ball game.
And again, it's a team, because of their explosiveness, were able to get back in the football game in a hurry. And I tell you, Richmond's having a nice night tonight with 4 receptions. He's a guy that gets forgotten about sometimes with the other 2 guys, Hudson and Willingham, but he's really a dynamic third receiver.
Second down, a fake. Smith taking a shot and a diving effort along that sideline from Willingham. Bullock in coverage. There was a lot of hand fighting going on down there as he tried to take a shot towards that pylon. Third down coming up.
Just taking a shot. I actually think Roland Williamson covers the corner out on the far side. Just a lot of jersey grabbing, but it does fall incomplete. Williams actually popped up thinking, again, that arm stretch there from Willingham is what was trying to create some space. Williams had a little bit of the jersey. The officials let it play. The pass falls incomplete. Third down and 3 here. Big play for the Bear offense.
Yeah, this will be interesting if they don't get this, what fourth down could look like. They need 3 yards to keep this drive alive. They're going to hand it off. Oh, they're going to get that with ease. Tristan Smith able to get to the 26-yard line. 6 yards and 5 of them before he was touched. First down, UCA.
For a team that doesn't average many yards on the ground, they're effective and efficient when they need them. Just a big, tough run by the guys up front to create some space there, and it's just between the tackles off left tackle, and they needed 3. They picked up 5.
It starts with Toby Sanderson at center up front. 38 straight starts at center. Here is Smith again.
Number 23, Smith on the carry.
Central Arkansas inches closer to the red zone. All of a sudden, when UCA's defense picks up a little bit, you know, I talked to Nathan Brown about that. He said, you know, it's tough to evaluate. They've played some really good offenses. He feels like they're there. They just have to be a little more consistent. They've been a little more consistent in the back half of this ball game so far after the really good start for ACU offensively. Here is Smith. So he takes off and it gets to the 20, and that'll set up 3rd and 4. Another big third down for Central Arkansas.
And going back to the point you were making, head coach Nathan Brown said something similar. This was in regards to playing Sam Houston State last week, the defending national champion. He said, we let that game slip away twice, once in the first half early, once late in that game. He said, but if that's the #1 team in the country, then we're right there. And that's a bold statement for a team that's 1-3, but that's how they feel over there at Central Arkansas. They're that close.
3rd down and 4. UCA 7 for 11 on 3rd down tonight. They've faced a lot of them. They're going to hand it off. Not much that time. Looking for Smith. He picked it up with ease a few plays ago. This time loses one as they tried to run the draw play on 3rd down. Now 4th down. And Central Arkansas is going to attempt a field goal.
Good job up front. Osaraten Obadi, number 94. Will Morgan up front. When the Wildcats needed a play to get off the field, force a field goal attempt, those 2 guys come through. Good stop there on 3rd down.
This is 39 yards for Hayden Ray. He's just 1 for 2 on the year. Hit a 32-yarder against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Missed from 50 against Missouri State. It's a good snap. It's a good hold. That is no good. Hooked it and missed it left.
And the field goal attempt is no.
That's huge, Zach. This is a team in ACU that is just really, I hate to say struggled, but haven't had something good happen in a long, long time, it feels like, and especially after their first turnover of the night, the Stone Earl fumble. For that defense to come up and get the stop is huge. And this one just hooked to the left, just outside of the left upright. It's a game of inches.
21-21. A drive that stalled, that third down decision to run it. A loss of a yard and then a missed field goal. ACU back to work on offense. Peyton Mansell out there, number 2. The redshirt sophomore quarterback who started his career at the University of Iowa. Transfers to Abilene Christian, was a starter last year, now is in the mix as the backup, but they play him a lot as a guy who can run the ball for ACU. The team he left, the Iowa Hawkeyes, number 5 in the country so far.
I knew you'd get an Iowa
I
reference
had to get in there at some point.
Midwesterner.
Always got to give a shout out to my fellow Iowans. Here is Stone Earl on a keeper to the left side.
Same play, 2 different quarterbacks. Design run to the left. Mansell, typically Mansell, he's a quarterback, but it's almost a wildcat. Almost every time he's in there, you're seeing the design run, but they come right back with Earl. It worked for Mansell for 4. Let's run the same play with Stone, and he gets 4. 3rd down and 2 here. This is critical. ACU has not had a first down on their last 3 possessions. Go all the way back to the middle of the second quarter when they had their last first down. This is a big play here at 3rd down and 2.
Earl has run it 7 times tonight. Came in with just 16 rush attempts on the season. 3rd and 2.
Tight formation here.
Earl, quick throw outside. Noah Caldwell, the backup tight end. He's got the first down. Quick throw for Caldwell.
It's a great design here, Zach, because it's a tight formation, which means there's no cornerback out in that flat. You have your tight end, and then you have some receivers, but they're real tight, so it keeps the defense real tight. So really it just becomes a speed game of who can get out in the flat the quickest. And ACU able to get out there and make the catch and move the sticks, first down.
3rd catch of the year for Caldwell, the redshirt freshman out of Electra, Texas. They're going to quickly throw this, and now Kobe Clark, who may try to throw it. Oh, this play is going nowhere. Earl got destroyed as he threw it back to Clark. Boy, that was weird.
Yeah, obviously a double pass, but whoever that was designed to go to was not there. It might have been designed to go back to Stone Earl, who was blown up. And hey, Kobe does the right thing. You think there for a second, hey, I've got speed. I'll try to just make something out of nothing, but he makes nothing out of nothing, which again is probably the right decision. We saw that on an incomplete pass earlier that really ended up being the best thing that could have happened. Same thing there.
Clark was running away from Caden Brown and Logan Jessup. Jessup, he can cover receivers. I mean, he had a pass breakup earlier. Here's a fake, 2nd down over the middle, right through the hands of Taylon Williams, the redshirt junior from Euless, Texas. Had a chance to catch it and keep running, and it sets up 3rd and 10 now.
It's a good strong throw between really the 2nd and 3rd layers of defenders coming across the formation, about a 10-yard pattern and drag pattern across the field, but in and out of the hands, and that's one you'd love to have back because now 3rd down and 10.
You know, the way we were starting this thing, it was like first one to 45 by win it. All of a sudden, we're settling in a little bit, 21 apiece. Late in the 3rd quarter, 3rd down, Earl. Late pressure, he's going to get rid of it. It's caught, and right at the point of the catch, as Earl's helmet flew off, that catch was made by Darius Lewis, so the tackle looks like a few things to sort out. That was a tackle made by DeAndre Lamont, the nickel. No flag on the play.
But it was right on the edge of a potential late hit.
Earl's helmet flew off. Instead, it's 4th down, and Abilene Christian's going to have to punt.
On the punt for ACU, number 27.
Well, it becomes a game now of field position. You have to trust your defense in a 21-21 tie. It's 4th and 4. Yeah, maybe think about going for it. No, not in this position of the game. Game and clock dictate a lot, and with 3 minutes and counting here the third quarter in a tie football game, you trust your defense.
Well, we have been saying the coaches would have been trusting their defense early on in this game. This thing was headed for a shootout. Now a flag comes out. This should be a delay of game.
They reset the play clock after Stone's helmet came off down to 25. Typically, you get the 40-second play clock that immediately starts on the conclusion of the last play. But when Stone's helmet came off, they reset the play clock to 25, and with the personnel changes, ACU just slowed, and they cost themselves 5 yards.
So Logan Burke's going to punt it. Tyler Hudson, fair catch to the 23-yard line. That's a 48-yard punt.
Well, Zach, looking at some other scores from around the WAC. Boy, it was a good one in Houston today. Sam Houston State, who was down to Stephen F. Austin all day long, including 20-6 in the fourth quarter, comes back and beats Stephen F. 21-20 today. So the Bearcats remain undefeated. Eastern Kentucky beats Tarleton today, again in the crossover matchup between the Atlantic Sun and the WAC. Eastern Kentucky, the best of Tarleton today, but boy, Sam Houston on the ropes, found a way to win, keep that winning streak alive.
Drive starts from the 24-yard line for Braylon Smith and the UCA offense. Ken Collins calling the plays. Here is a shovel pass to the running back Tristan Smith. For more on the man calling the offensive plays for UCA, we send it down to the third member of our team, Connor Mullins.
Coach Collins used to be an ACU head coach and offensive coordinator, and a very consistent winner at both stops. 24-32 record here at ACU. Doro replaced him in 2017, the current head coach for the Wildcats. As a player for the Bears, 6th in career passing yards with 5,578, 8th in passing touchdowns with 39, and he led UCA to its first NAIA championship as a freshman in 1991. Coach Brown told us that he's a really competitive guy. This isn't the first time he's competed against ACU since he came here. They want to win this game because of the time he spent there. I think naturally you want to win for him. Coach Doral also told us, I have a lot of respect for Coach Brown and that coaching staff. They're a very good team that do a lot of good things, and we're seeing this grudge match take place tonight here in the third quarter. Guys.
Connor, thank you very much. Central Arkansas dumps it off to the tight end, Sam Camargo. And yeah, Ken Collins, where he goes, his teams win. That's just how that works. Former ACU coach back for a second stint at his alma mater. So second down at 6. On one might be an important drive. Obviously, it's an important drive in a tie ball game. Abilene Christian's defense trying to force a stop here in Central Arkansas. That's been hard to do as of late. Smith to throw again. Quick out route. That is Tobias Enlow, who's got the first down. Gets to the 46-yard line. Enlow, the senior from North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Second down, the pass complete.
Well, when this offense gets operating, Andy, it's really fun to watch them attack defenses through the air with all their weapons.
They've almost hit their averages, season averages. 82 yards was their rushing average. They're at 82. 310 is their passing average. They're at 289.
Quick throw to the outside. Here's Winningham. He is so good in space. Takes it down inside the 20. And they'll mark him out at the 13-yard line. 33 yards to the guy who has just been unstoppable tonight. He is close to 200 yards through the air.
Zach, that's a busted coverage off of just lining up. Tristan Anderson was not out there at the cornerback position. Just throw it out, let him make a play, and he makes a play inside the 15.
They'll fake it, and they'll throw it again to the sideline. Now making a move at the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown. What a night, Christian Richmond. He's got a hat trick. It's his third TD for UCA, and the Bears have their first lead of the night.
And again, just throw it out in space. It's a numbers game out on the outside. Richmond makes the catch, gets a great block on the outside, as you'll see. And up the field, breaks a tackle, stretches for the white line, that is the goal line, and he's in. Bears play with the lead for the first time.
In the final seconds of the third quarter, Central Arkansas trailed 14-0. They've now scored 28 of the last 35 points in a game. That's a 6-play, 76-yard drive in 2.5 minutes.
All of their drives, their scoring drives, have looked similar tonight, which is moving the football up the field. You look at their scoring drives tonight: 5 plays, 75 yards, 6 plays, 75 yards, 6 plays, 76 yards. That's the most recent drive. Their first touchdown in the first half, 11 plays, 78 yards. They figured it out. Just like ACU in the first half, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. It's been Central Arkansas in the second half, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter, and they are clicking offensively now with the lead. 15 minutes to go.
So Christian Richmond, the sophomore receiver who's had himself a night, came in with 14 catches, a couple of TDs. He played in 2 games last year in the spring before he got hurt with a season-ending injury. All of a sudden comes out here, he's having himself a good season. He had a couple of touchdowns, and now he's got 5 on the year because he's got 3 of them in tonight's game.
It's a compliment to Willingham and Hudson and what they do and the coverage, that the attention that they receive, that they deserve. When you have a third receiver, boy, he can have some huge nights, and we're seeing that tonight with just another fantastic game. Christian Richmond with the 3 touchdowns.
Cogren's going to kick it off again from the goal line. It is Johnson. He's been busy on these returns, and he will try to go the opposite direction. Oh, he is running around. Look at this. I think I saw Dante Hall used to do that for the Kansas City Chiefs, so that takes us to the end of the third quarter. Central Arkansas 28, Abilene Christian 21. You're watching The WAC on ESPN, and it resumes after these messages. Fourth quarter in Abilene, Texas tonight. Here on ESPN, Abilene Christian trailing 28-21 to Central Arkansas. Stone Earl and company going to hand it off to Jeremiah Dobbins to get this fourth quarter started. And we say welcome into the booth, Zach Carlisle and Andy Penny. Well, a third quarter really to forget for Abilene Christian as they now find themselves trailing in the ballgame.
Well, after 295 yards of offense in the first half, just 31 yards of offense for ACU in that third quarter. Give credit to the UCA defense. They forced a turnover, but ACU, boy, just stalled out in that quarter. Now play from behind, down by 7, 15 minutes to go.
Very important drive for ACU, 2nd and 10. Earl going to run again. Seen a lot of this tonight down that sideline. That's the 8th rushing attempt tonight for Stone Earl, and he is going to pick up near a first down to mark him a yard shy. 3rd and 1 coming up. Don't think a lot of folks expected this much running from Stone Earl. Now under center, did he lose the ball? UCA thinks they forced another fumble. Earl fumbled earlier in the third quarter. Central Arkansas. Another takeaway for this UCA defense.
Well, Zach, it was 3rd and 1. ACU wanted to go in a hurry. They put Earl up under the center. It was a quick count. First indicator, we're snapping the football, quarterback sneak to try to get the 1 yard, and it just imploded for the Wildcats. I don't know if it was a center quarterback exchange on the snap or trying to stretch the football or exactly what happened, but the Bears defense, their second takeaway here in the second half, and now their best starting field position of any drive tonight in plus territory at the ACU 28.
Just looked like the snap didn't work out. That was strange from the get-go as they tried to go quickly and go under center, and disaster for ACU. Opportunity for UCA to go up a couple of scores. It's a fake. Wide open, it's Winningham. What a night. He's over 200 yards receiving as he takes it down to the 16-yard line.
That's his 8th catch tonight, up over 200 yards. Well, Winningham 8 for 211. Richmond the 5 for 34 with 3 touchdowns. Tyler Hudson 4 for 57.
Darius Hale, strong running to the 10. Knocked down by Jack Schultz, the defensive lineman.
Darius Hale on the carry.
UCA doing things at will with the offense right now and trying to take advantage of back-to-back turnovers, or 2 turnovers here in the second half, I should say, for Abilene Christian.
6 yards, and I'll spot the ball at the ACU
Second down and 4
line.
coming up.
It'll be 2nd and 4.
UCA had been minus 20 in the third quarter this year. 14-0 in the third quarter tonight, and now a chance to start the fourth with a bang. It's a fake. Smith dumps it off in a flat. The big fella. Touchdown, Central Arkansas. It is Austin Eldridge, the tight end, the sophomore from Florida, goes home for the TD.
Well, it's a great play design. Eldridge is in as the lead blocker. He's offset behind the left tackle. He comes across like a counter block, but then finds his way out in the flat, and the defense just gets caught up in traffic in the middle. Eldridge makes the catch in the flat, turns it up, and he's into the end zone, and the Bears now a 2-score lead.
Took advantage right away of the turnover. Ray's extra point is good. Turnovers for ACU, touchdowns for Central Arkansas. The Bears go up 14 on the road. 28 unanswered points for Central Arkansas. And the Bears on the road have a 35-21 lead. ECU led 21-7 with 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, and it has been all UCA ever since. A couple minutes into this fourth, here comes the kickoff. Returnable, Johnson's gonna take it. Trying to make a big play, he'll take it out across the 25. This game a part of the WAC ASUN Challenge. Let's send it down to Connor Mullins.
The Atlantic Sun and the Western Athletic Conference agreed to a 1-year alliance that allows 3 ASUN and 4 WAC members to be eligible for FCS playoffs. For the ASUN, it's UCA, Eastern Kentucky, and Jacksonville State, who knocked off Florida State a couple weeks ago. And for the WAC, it's ACU, Lamar, Sam Houston, and Stephen F. Austin. It's also called the AQ7, and they'll play a single round-robin tournament with each institution having 3 home contests and 3 road contests. The first matchup in this challenge for ACU, despite ACU playing Lamar last week, but it's the second matchup in the AQ7 for UCA, who lost 45-35 to Sam Houston last weekend. Coach Brown told his team that I'm excited about the change. Fortunately enough, we didn't have enough teams to play a full conference schedule, so we have a lot of familiarity with the WAC teams like ACU, SFA, Sam Houston, and Lamar from their Southland days. ASUN is a very competitive league, and we feel like we're a pretty consistent top 25 program. We want to continue to prove ourselves week in and week out. On the other side, Coach Dorrell told his team, I don't think the schedule could have come any better for both sides. When everything came down the pipe, I think both conferences were like, wow, we're in deep trouble just finding games. College football schedules are made so far in advance that I don't think it could have came out any better for either side. Guys?
Connor, thank you very much. A lot happened right there. That was a deep shot to Alex Spadone, and pass interference on Central Arkansas's Willie Langham to move the ball to the 44-yard line. A big start to this drive. ACU is trying to go deep down the field, and we'll talk about that here in a second. First down and 10 at the 44. ACU puts it on the ground, and this is Tyrese White. Takes it right near the 50-yard line. They tried for the big shot there on that first play.
Well, I like it. You're down 2 scores, and nothing has really worked effectively here as you look at the drives. Zach, this is crazy. The first 3 drives for ACU tonight were touchdowns, And since, they've had 6 drives, 4 punts, 2 fumbles. It's just gone stagnant. Take the deep shot. If you complete it, great. If you get a pass interference, great. And they're fortunate to get that. Maybe that's what gets this team out of neutral, now down 2 scores with 13 minutes to go.
2nd down and 4. Anthony Smith on the carry. Right near the line of scrimmage. TJ Campbell on to stop, the junior from Mississippi.
And here we go again, Zach. This has really been the play that ACU has not been able to get lately. 3rd and mid-range, short to mid-range. It's a 3rd and 4 here. We saw Stone Earl keep the football, fumble on a 3rd and 4, trying to get that 1st down. On the last drive, it was 3rd and 1. They go quick, they fumble the snap. This 3rd and mid-range has been a difficult play for ACU here in the 2nd half.
ACU 0 for its last 4 on 3rd down. Now 5 of 11 in the game. They're going to run it. And breaking off tackles Anthony Smith. He did that all himself. 3rd and 4. That was not easy. Smith gets the first.
Well, it's a little yak right there. You're familiar with yak, yards after contact, and mark that play in this one if ACU comes back and gets this win tonight, because that was a possession keeper aliver, I guess, if that's a terminology or not. But anyway, new set of downs.
Stone Earl keeps it alive, and it is in and out of the hands of Kobe Clark. And boy, Earl had to hop and skip and jump out of traffic, and there may be a hold out of this on ACU.
Holding. Offense number 59. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3rd down.
Jacob Thielen, the right guard, the redshirt freshman out of Colorado. Check this out. His cousin, Adam Thielen.
I know that name.
Who I find out almost everybody in the country has been saying his last name wrong. Everybody calls him Adam Thielen, the wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. Turns out it's Adam Thielen. Jacob, his cousin, is starting right guard for Abilene Christian. So go figure.
Behind the sticks now, 1st and 20 after the holding penalty, which makes it that much more difficult here at 1st and 20.
By the way, Minnesota Vikings big game tomorrow against the Cleveland Browns. Should be a good one. Here is a fake. Earl, time to throw. Remington Lutz. That's a big play to get the yardage back and then some. They get 18 yards to Lutz. Every time this guy catches the ball, it's a big play for ACU.
Boy, no doubt. Came in on the season, just 1 catch for 59 yards, but I believe that's his 3rd tonight. And they've been for big yardage. He's up almost to the century mark with his 3 receptions. 3 for 80, just shy of that, but 18 there. 1st and 20 turns into 2nd down and 2.
Lutz 189 career yards receiving. He is having himself a ball game. 2nd and 2. ACU to the ground. Jeremiah Dobbins, he's going to get the 1st down as he runs into the arms of some UCA defenders. Devon Wright was in there.
2nd down, the carry goes to number 21, Jeremiah Dobbins.
Malik Wilson, the linebacker out of Alabama, getting up from the bottom of the pile as well. 1st down, Abilene Christian. We know how important this drive is for Adam Dorrell in this offense. We know how important this game is for Abilene Christian. And it is just a perception thing. And can we do this against Central Arkansas? We talked about the series history earlier. UCA has dominated this all-time series. ACU's beaten Central Arkansas once in their history. Earl fakes it, throws all alone on the backside is Smith, who's having himself a game. Down to the 16-yard line. 1st down, ACU, 19 yards.
Great play design. He gets a chip out of the backfield on the defensive end, then lets the defensive end release, works his way out in the flat. Nobody in the secondary picks him up, or at least coming over late is Willie Langham, but too little too late. And the Wildcats with a little sense of urgency, just like that in the red zone, 1st and 10.
Smith, 23 yards on the ground, 32 yards receiving. Peyton Mansell keeps. Knocked down in the backfield.
On 1st down, number 2, Peyton Mansell on the quarterback keeper.
Well played up front. That can be challenging sometimes, or maybe a little easier for a defense who you kind of figure when Mansell's coming in there, he's probably going to run the ball.
And I was thinking the exact same thing. When you see number 2 in the shotgun back behind the center, you get that Wildcat, here comes the Wildcat type situation. And I think the Bears were ready for it that time. It's a loss of 1.
Now an empty backfield for Earl, who has run a lot tonight as well. Stone Earl throws, end zone, knocked away right at the goal line, going for Anthony Smith. And now a Bear down in the end zone. I couldn't tell who broke that up.
Well, Earl looked the receiver Smith the entire time, never looked off Smith the entire time on that pass route. And the safety who was back there was ready for it, able to make the defensive play.
Injury in the end zone. We'll take a timeout on the field. Back to Abilene in a moment. It was Tamarian Wilson who was down the safety for Central Arkansas in the end zone, the injury. 3rd down and 11 out of this timeout. Well, and prior to this big 3rd down.
Please reset the game clock to 9 minutes and 10 seconds and start on the snap.
Going to add 2 seconds to the clock. Go to 9 minutes and 10 seconds. All right. 3rd down and 11 for ACU. A big play here. Earl. Time to throw. Time runs out. It is picked. Intercepted. Nick Nakwasa. Earl trying to make something happen. Central Arkansas's 3rd takeaway as a defense tonight.
Well, as good as Stone has been over the first month of this season and managing the offense and taking care of the football, he's in a pressure situation here in this 4th quarter, and he's just trying to make a play. You can't fault him for trying to make a play, but he has 2 Bears pressing down on him. It's 3rd down and 11, down by 2 scores. We got to make a play. He throws it into traffic, and a great play in the 3rd takeaway by this Bear defense here in this 2nd half. Again, you can't fault the effort, but maybe the decision-making not the greatest right there.
Nakwasa able to get another foot in bounds. And UCA trying to run it outside here. They're going to get a big chunk and a 1st down. Trying to get out of the shadows of the end zone with Tristan Smith back to the interception.
Again, a good pocket that starts to collapse. Here comes the pressure. Again, Stone knows it's 3rd down and 11. And just trying to make a play on that far side. An ill-advised pass and the 3rd turnover of the night.
This Central Arkansas has not turned it over tonight as well, something that's very important.
And this becomes just a time-consuming drive here with 98 yards to work with, 2-score lead. The clock winds at 8:29. This becomes ball control, eat the clock, time of possession type of drive for the Bears.
Big, important first run there for Tristan Smith, and he takes one for 6 to the 20-yard line. And you never want to say a game comes down to just one thing, but tonight it feels pretty evident these turnovers have absolutely been the difference in the game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's totally stunted the Wildcats here in this 2nd half. Even there, that was their most efficient drive of the 2nd half into the red zone for the first time, and I believe only the 2nd time in their last 6 drives that they'd even had a 1st down. They had 4 3-and-out series. But the turnovers will bite you, and that's the 3rd one. ACU's been good. They have not had a turnover, I believe, since the SMU game in week number 1. Had not had a turnover in the 3-game winning streak, but now 3 tonight.
Back to Smith, left side. He's got another 1st. Takes it out to the 25. Run the ball, use the clock, pick up 1st down. Since Central Arkansas would love to fly on home with a 2nd win, Nathan Brown talked about it this week. For us to even get an at-large bid, thought we probably have to win out. There's not a lot of margin for error here, and it starts with a tough test tonight. This would be a major step in that process.
Yeah, a team at 1-3, they'd have to finish the season at 8-3. They need a 7-game winning streak. I hate to say need, but definitely not much room for error. And it couldn't start tonight. 1-4 would just be absolutely devastating.
Back to Smith, and he will lose a yard. ACU well played up front that time. Trey Adams, it appeared, got in there, the linebacker.
And to recap ACU tonight offensively, first 3 drives, all touchdowns. Last 7 drives, 4 punts, 3 turnovers. So just, is that Jekyll and Hyde? I don't know if that's the right terminology. Whatever it's been, it was really good in the first 3 drives and the opposite of really good in the last 7 drives.
Got to credit Central Arkansas's
No
defense
doubt.
for making adjustments as well. They have been spectacular with Matt Kitchens, that defensive coordinator. Smith back to work. He has had himself a drive. Now takes off and gets out to midfield. 25 yards on a burst for the freshman from Duncanville, Texas.
Well, the Wildcat defense knows that they have to run the football, so putting up a little bit more pressure up on the line of scrimmage and just breaking through is Smith, and there's no second line of defense to make that tackle immediately. It's a long run, and the Bears out to the 50-yard line.
25 yards for Smith, who is up to 87 on the ground tonight. Back to the ground. This is Darius Hale, part of that freshman backfield. Well, this offense has been great for Central Arkansas. How about their head coach, their offensive coordinator? Both were QBs at Central Arkansas. Look where they rank in program history. Brown is at the top of every category. Collins, the OC, 8th, 7th, 6th. I mean, he played, back in the 90s, so those career records have come and gone. But those are 2 guys who have just been so good in their playing careers, now coaching for Central Arkansas.
Well, Collins played back in the day where passing wasn't the ideal thing. It was 3 yards in a cloud of dust, so Brown owns all the records. I just wonder, if these guys, Smith and some of these guys, get close, if Smith gets close to his records, do you start calling other plays?
No kidding.
Hey, that's my record you're about to break. We're calling something else. I'm not going to let you throw the ball anymore.
4:41 left, timeout ACU. Take a timeout as well. Abilene Christian, a lot to do, down 14 with 4 minutes left. Big third down for this Abilene Christian defense. If Central Arkansas gets this, you can probably put a bow on this one tonight. Up by 14. They are going to hand it off. Darius Hale, he's got it. First down to the 39-yard line. Central Arkansas now up over 500 yards of offense tonight as they try to close this one out here in Abilene.
And if I remember right, Zach, I think this entire drive has been on the ground, including this third down that they pick up for a first down, a drive that started at their own 2-yard line after the interception. It started with 9 minutes on the clock. They've already eaten up 5 minutes of game time and a new set of downs, 1st and 10 at the Wildcat 39.
Clock. This has been some kind of drive for UCA. After the interception, back to Hale to the 35-yard line. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for Central Arkansas. They're going into the bye week. This will be a great way to do it for the Bears. They're going to host Eastern Kentucky before going on the road for a couple. There's some winnable games here and a chance for them to start this winning streak for Central Arkansas.
Yeah, no doubt. A 5-game schedule behind them with 6 to go, and perfect time for a bye week, especially if you think about last year, just a 5-game schedule. So just a matter of, hey, let's let our body maybe recover over the next 7 days before we start this critical 6-game stretch. We being Central Arkansas, they'll play Eastern Kentucky in 2 weeks, and ACU will give them a good look as the Wildcats head there next week too.
Here is a handoff back to Hale. It has been Hale and Smith this entire drive on the ground. Another first down to the 28-yard line as we approach 3 minutes to go tonight.
Central Arkansas showing me something here. You can win a lot of football games with explosive receivers on the outside and a ground game that can just eat up clock and eat up yardage and slowly work down the field. That combination, you can win a lot of football games, and this has been an impressive drive that started with 9 minutes left.
Add an opportunistic defense.
No doubt.
All of a sudden it's
no
taking
doubt.
the ball away from a really good offense in ACU tonight. +3 Central Arkansas on the turnover margin. Back to Hale. Great blocking up front. So he takes it down to the 22.
Another timeout here for ACU. Going to try to keep some clock, get the football back. 2 possessions down with 2.5 to go.
2:34 to go. Central Arkansas on their way to a road win. 2.5 minutes to go tonight in Abilene, Texas. Central Arkansas with a 2-touchdown lead. Hands it to Darius Hale. Another first down for UCA as they put a bow on this one here tonight. Wildcat Stadium. Speaking of ACU, important part of their schedule here at Eastern Kentucky. Back home for Lamar for homecoming. We'll be there for that one October the 16th before they hit their bye week. They got to get back on track here after going to be dropping to 3-2 after tonight.
Yeah, and another new opponent next week in Eastern Kentucky on the road, so unfamiliar with just the territory, the scenery, the team that we play next week. It'll be a tough one. Lamar back here at home. Of course, the Wildcats had success last week, but then a tough stretch. SFA on the 30th, and then in November. Boy, it doesn't get any easier with Tarleton and Sam Houston State both coming here to Abilene.
First down at the 18-yard line. What did we say this drive started with? 9:04 in the fourth quarter.
And I think
no gain that time.
I think essentially they can run it out here. ACU does have one more timeout. Or check that, it says 2 timeouts on the board. I thought just 1 left, but
I thought they called 2 as well.
Yeah, I did too. But nonetheless, I think the Bears can run this out. Run out the final 9 minutes of the clock. Never give ACU the football back.
What can you say about the way that this game just switched on a dime? I mean, this game was 21-7 ACU. Central Arkansas had a chance to even maybe go tie it at the end of the first half. Didn't. It was 21-14 at halftime. This game totally switched, and then Central Arkansas has dominated this second half. What can you say about the way this game switched?
Well, I think there's a lot to be said about the longevity of a football game. You can start well, but you have to finish well. You can start poorly, but if you finish well, you can recover. And I just think that's kind of what's happened. I think you've seen some youth on the side of ACU tonight, and just really the first time that the Wildcats have been in a pressure situation. I don't know if pressure situation is the right thing to say, but a game that was still on the line, competitive, in the balance in the second half. That's where tonight was. First time Stone Earl had been in that type of situation, and didn't respond well tonight, but he'll get another chance. This Wildcat team will get more chances to respond. Just didn't respond well tonight against a very good Central Arkansas team.
Yeah, it's a really good team, and I think we came in saying this. We welcome you here inside of the booth, Zach and Andy. But I think it's really important to say that this was a Central Arkansas team that came in with a 1-3 record that was not indicative of what this team was. They showed that they were not a 1-3 team here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. The schedule had been tough all season long for them. Of course, last week with Sam Houston State, and again last week in their press conference, the conversation was, we were that close to Sam Houston State. We're that close to the national champion. We're a good football team. Don't let the 1-3 record fool you. It didn't fool us tonight, boy. They look good.
Yeah, they really do. And a team that can go ahead and do some things in this WAC ASUN Challenge. Sam Houston struggled tonight. Here's Darius Hale. Here he goes. Off to the races for the touchdown. Bow tie on the present tonight for Central Arkansas. Touchdown number 6 on the year for Darius Hale, who is top 2 in the country in that category.
And I hate to say that's unfortunate because it makes the score look worse than what it really was, but is that the case? Just a dominating performance. It's 34, about to be 35 unanswered by this Central Arkansas team. And first quarter dominated by the Wildcats, and really the final 3 dominated by the Bears.
I'm just totally impressed with this final half of play, really. I mean, maybe even back half of the second quarter, and then all the way 2.5 quarters of dominance.
Delay a game. Offense number 53. 5-yard penalty.
So they call the delay a game on the kicker, who does not snap the ball. He's the last guy who should be called for the delay a game, right?
You're either the hero or the GOAT, you know.
Kickers just can't catch a break, can they?
There's no middle ground. You're either the hero or the GOAT. So
That's something that I think Pat McAfee would complain about for the brand there, right there. Extra point a little bit longer away. Didn't matter. That is good from Hayden Ray. By the way, he is, let's see, that is 6 touchdowns tonight, 6 extra points. That's 101 PATs in the career of Hayden Ray, 101 for 103 in his Central Arkansas career.
So you had to bring up that he missed 2. See,
you know. You're right. Yeah, he's going to be mad at me when he watches this back. I tell you. You know, we'll just go with this. 101 extra points made in his career. UCA. UCA going to kick this thing off one more time as we're under a minute to go here tonight. It's been a fun night here in Abilene. Really, really has.
Oh, no doubt. Competitive football as we get into conference play. This is an old Southland Conference rivalry. Not in the same conference, but with this WAC ASUN challenge, it kind of counts as a conference game. Not a conference game. I don't know if I'm explaining it well. Nonetheless, but just good to see these two teams out on the field again.
Yeah, it's a conference, non-conference.
Yeah.
Conference, non-conference game. How about that? You know, we can't give enough credit to the team that has put this broadcast together tonight, the ACUTV crew. There's Hutton Harris in the front row. You see him guiding this student-run crew. These guys do a phenomenal job. It's one of the great productions you're going to see at this level. We have so much fun being on the air with these guys behind the scenes.
No doubt about it. Great job tonight, guys. Had a great look at the last play of the first half where the clock's in the shot and it's a spike of the football. It's used as instant replay, and boy, what a great job. Just one of many, many accolades that this ACUTV crew deserves, and great job again tonight by that crew.
Yeah, you want to get good TV production and see how to run a broadcast. This is a place to be to make this happen. This has been really, really fun here tonight. Great job all around. ACU still trying to throw it. 51 ticks. Incomplete pass from Stone Earl. 2nd down and 10. Earl's had an interesting night. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, you headed to Kentucky next week?
I will be there. I will be headed to the Bluegrass State. And we'll be here in 2 weeks' time. Lamar and Abilene Christian homecoming. You know, and I think what's there, here's Jordan Brooks West with the catch for Abilene Christian. I think what I'm most excited about in a couple of weeks is to see fans back again, as we've seen that all season long, and a homecoming. We haven't seen that in a couple of years. That's going to be electric. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It'll be nice to get back on the home field 2 weeks from now against the Lamar team that the Wildcats had success again against last week, and they'll get them again 2 weeks from tonight.
Adam Dorrell out onto the field. That will do it tonight. A dominant showing. Central Arkansas trailed 21-7, scored the final 35 points of the game to go to 2-3 on the season. Abilene Christian drops to 3-2 after this one here tonight. Final score is Central Arkansas 42, Abilene Christian 21. It's been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. Until next time, Zach Carlisle, Andy Penny, Connor Mullins, the whole crew led by Hutton Harris saying so long, take care, good night from Abilene, Texas.